Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. My hair looking a bit disheveled today. I don't know. What do you reckon? I'm gonna get that little Superman cowlick out. That's the way we go, right? Bit of fun. Well, what a rally! We've had a great rally for quite a bit of time. We're looking good leading into this Monday stock market with Bitcoin at 65k. In fact, it got to 65.22 something. We thought, man, we're going to get some interesting news out from the digital asset treasuries. But it was great news in many ways, but for the long term, more the long term good news. Short term news, not so good. And we also saw crypto coming down with the MicroStrategy strategy, as well as probably around the uncertainty around the Strait of Hormuz oil and a few other little things out there as well. So it is pretty interesting times. PulseChain pulled back just a little tad at the moment after its mega rally over the last few weeks, which has been exciting. We're going to get into all that later on as well. We got the Monster Thread Hottest News Out edition number 66. Wasn't that something to do with Star Wars, the 66? Let me know in the chat what that was all about. And so, yeah, we're going to get to Wall Street. We're going to get into the economic news, look at the key variables. I still think we've got quite a few tailwinds as opposed to headwinds, but we've still got a couple of headwinds to deal with. That's the way I'd put it. We got people talking about October for the bottom. Some people saying September, some people saying November, even January, based on previous years. But maybe we'll even do better than that. Who knows? We'll check out some of the variables there. We're going to look at the digital asset treasuries on Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're going to look at the updates that came out overnight before the stock market opened. We're going to discuss those. We're going to hear from BlackRock as well around ETFs and look at the ETFs. Then we're going to get into Bitmine's updates and then jump, of course, into PulseChain and have a look at the markets there, which have been running really, really well. People are excited again. You know, the HEX are excited. The PulseChains are excited. The Jamaicans are excited. I mean, there must be some Jamaicans in the community. So everyone's excited. So are you excited? Let me know in the chat there as well. Is this just the first wave of many coming up for PulseChain ahead? Really is exciting as well as we get there. So let's get into it, folks. Don't forget to subscribe on the way in and smash the X follow button. So if you're following there, and most importantly, get the repost button, hit that repost button on X, and let's share the show around. That's what we're all about. The Crypto Night Show is the largest influencer in the PulseChain community, doing daily shows. About 6 years now, whether it's a bear market or bull market, we've been here. It's been quite the journey. And we're looking forward to particularly the next 6 to 24 months. I think it's going to be very exciting. It might be a little bit choppy before the end of the year, but I'm still expecting a good run towards the end of the year. And of course, 27 is going to be ballistic, not only for crypto, but many other things as well. But it's going to be pretty huge, guys, pretty huge. October is a deadline. Maybe not so much for the 4-year, but for DTCC coming in. The big settlement layer for traditional markets is coming in to take over crypto, and that's only hyper bullish. And we're talking about mega moves following from that big decision there as they ramp up, and all their clients can't wait to tokenize. That's going to be very exciting indeed. All right, so I hope you got excited. This is Tuesday Down Under. We're going to look at the Monday's markets, so let's kick it into gear on the way in. So let's see where we're at here. So stock market. Well, Wall Street there ends slightly lower, taking a beat after its a best week since April. Last week was amazing, wasn't it? And so let's look at the results today for the Dow Jones. We're down 0.1%, 60 points to 53,973 on the Dow Jones. Remember, Dow Jones kind of like the 30 top industrials. You can see over the last year that chart's just going up. We're just off record highs, guys, just from last week. Spectacular. S&P 500 just down a fraction. I mean, it's hardly anything. 5 points to 7,753. Looking very good. And of course, the call there, potentially 8,000 by the end of August, certainly looks doable. And we're pretty much at the top. I mean, it really is incredible there. The Nasdaq with all the tech companies and their AI trade, as people call it, down a 30%, 85 points to 26,605. And you can see that's not too far off as well, off the highs there from the 2nd of June at 27,100. So we're about maybe just under 500 points below that. So AI trade still pretty much intact. Let's look at the US dollar. US dollar is at 99.66. Pretty much been stuck around there for at least a week or so, ticking away. You can see just stuck there. And let's have a look at the volatile index. It's looking good, guys. We're up 3.7%, but that's not too bad because we're still around 15.5. And if we look at that over the last year, that's at the bottom. That's still risk on territory. So overall, markets in the US looking very good indeed. Let's jump over to the commodities. Obviously, we've still got crazy stuff going on in the Middle East in the sense of Iran talking about reparations and everything else. What do they think? They're Martin Luther or something? I don't know, but they're up at $82.42 right now, up a third. And you guys know I'm quite bullish. I'm under $80, so we're a little bit above that. And certainly oil, certainly want to get that as a tailwind, not a headwind. But we have wiped out some of the premium, but we're still elevated there. And getting under sub 80 was pretty cool. But you guys know we want to get back down to the $64 mark, right? So we've still got a bit of work to do there. What's that, about $16 to go. The Brent oil there is up a tad as well, 11 cents at just under $88. We can see that that's popped back up there from just under $80. So we've just got a bit of that premium there. And of course, we've got this tit for tat. So the Iranians said, hey, we want reparations for blowing up our stuff because we're terrorists and we were going to use it to jihad you anyway. And then the President Trump said, well, hey, wait, that's a good idea. We'll also get some reparations for, wiping out our U.S. soldiers over the years of terrorism. And of course, also, maybe the people of Iran need reparations as well for the hundreds of thousands of people they've killed of their own people, and particularly around 50,000 or so this year. So there's a bit of a tit for tat there, and it's amazing Trump being able to bring a bit of humor there as well, given where that's all at. Now, obviously, there's a bit of the Iranian economy is collapsing, guys. It was really, really bad. The only avenue that the Iranians have is really up in the Caspian Sea there with the Russia trade, and so that's probably one of their outs and a few of their borderlines. But actually, the economy is in pretty big trouble. And that's one of the squeezing things that Scott Besson is squeezing to get them to do a deal. Now, on the other side, of course, there are terrorists, so they'll pretty much probably go down with the ship. That's probably where they're going to go. They don't care really about the Iranian people or anything like that. It's all about the bring on the apocalypse and all that sort of stuff. It is real zombie land stuff. Hey, but we've got our own zombies in the West, don't we? We've got progressives. They're all zombies. And so, we've got our own problems with the zombie apocalypse. But hey, look, it's just a matter of degree, I guess. So we got all that happening, and we'll see where that is. A bit of standoff between the blockade and, of course, firing some rockets at ships and things like that. So we've got a bit of tit for tat, not quite out of the woods there. We'll see what happens with the deals with Oman. I think the UAE's got a potential deal. I think it was UAE, something like that. We'll see whether that lands as well. And it's pretty much stalemate at the moment, what I can see. Let's see what else we got going. Obviously, Trump can go and smash, and he's really been holding that off, honestly. He is trying to get a deal done there because he could do a lot of damage if he wants to. A lot of damage, guys, if he wants to. But, it's all about who's playing, what rules you're playing by, right? So Tehran there, they play by no rules. So when you've got no rules, you can do anything. But like progressives, right? No rules, they can do anything. But when you're trying to play with some ethics and morals, the rules of the game are very different. You've got limitations on what you can do. And so it's kind of a bit of that. We also got the midterms coming up in November. Obviously, that's a big impact. And, of course, Trump wants to get things looking pretty positive. He's running out of time for that. So he really is at the crossroad right now. And it's got to get a bit more of the economics up and et cetera. So he's obviously going to be working on a few things like that into November. We got Crypto Jackson House. Smash that like and subscribe. Definitely smash the like and subscribe. Bring that on in. And, we're going to ramp up here. We've got a big show today, I think. I don't think it's going to be a short show, guys. We've got so much to talk about today. And given the fact that we're having exciting times here, it's the way it goes. We've got gold at the moment. Gold is looking good, isn't it? Up 1.5%. I'm sure Peter Schiff's pretty happy. $66 to $44.85. So what's that about let's have a look on gold over the last year. That's a nice bounce back. Look, it got rolled over, got down to about just above 4K, and then is back up about 10%. So, that's looking pretty good for gold. Silver as well. Avoided collapse as well. Avoided collapse at about $56 and has managed to get back up to $66. So up, $10 there. And so gold's up 1.5% and silver's up 2% there. Looking good on the rebound of silver. Now, the star of the show has got to be copper. Copper is going to boom, boom, boom. We've got manufacturing boom. So copper is going to boom too. That's up 0.5% at $6.66. So we're expecting good things for copper, and copper looks like it's about to break out, doesn't it? On the chart, it is really, really good. I can't see it slowing down with all the capital investment that's going in the US economy right now. Trump has turned this around. It is staggering how much capital investment, like what was it, about 19 trillion, maybe 20 trillion last year, more trillions this year. It's all going to pay dividends. You watch, it's going to be absolutely mega on the old dividends there. 27 is looking hot for that, and I'm sure that the end of the second half of this year is going to be pretty good too. We got Craig in house. Morning all. Good to see you, Craig. Big shout out. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So contrast that, all that capital investment coming in by Trump, and contrast that with the Biden era, where they were investing $1 trillion over the whole 4 years. Then they were, pretty much setting up a fraudulent scheme through US aid and everything else they've got going, getting bills. Bills were getting passed with the unions getting paid, everybody getting paid on the left, and they were just sucking out the capital of the United States, destroying the middle class, continuing the exporting of manufacturing, punishing the middle of America, which is generally Republican. So this was the games that was going on. They were doing managed decline over decades. They brought in all the jihadis under Biden and of course, what's the other guy's name? I forget. Obama. That's Obama. And so it was just a carnage, right? And then they indoctrinate the people to make them happy, right? Yeah, you're happy with us destroying everything, And now we've got a builder. We're back into a builder, right? Not a destroyer, but a builder building back. Now let's see. This is going to be bullish for crypto. So this is going to be bullish, and we're excited about the future here as we're moving forward. So that is some of the markets here. Let's jump into the some of the news there. We talked already about the Iranian issues. Obviously, we've got the inflation coming up this week, guys. So let's go have a look at the tools. We're going to go to the economic calendar. This is a big deal. Last week we had a negative employment data for non-farm payrolls, and so this is boding well for our outlook, which is around dovish interest rates. That's what we want to see, right? Dovish interest rates and the continual expansion of the money supply, and of course risk-on attitudes with the VIX, right? So we're setting up pretty nicely. So I see we've got a lot of town, but it's down maybe, let's say 40% halfway. We've still got a bit of work to do there. But this Thursday, we've got CPI data coming out. Big deal there to continue the dovish story rather than a hawkish story, and reverse that by the end of the year, which I'm very, very optimistic about at the moment. Everything's coming in real nice after last month's CPI, PPI, CPE data, and of course the employment last week looking pretty good. I guess on the converse, of course, is any recessionary fears, which I'm not really worried about either. I think manufacturing is putting that to a side, and so I think it's pretty much game on. I think we're going to move into a good GDP, low inflationary environment. Yeah, that's right. So watch out what's going to happen there in the next sort of 18 months. We've got core CPE as well. So the current CPI expected to be 3.4. We had 3.5 last month. So that's a big deal on Thursday. So let's see if that plays into the theme so far. Then on Friday, we've got the PPI. That's kind of like the factory gate prices, a lead indicator for CPI, arguably. And that's we've got the month-on-month result there coming in 0.2%. But look at the previous month, negative 0.3%. So that was so positive, wasn't it? Just like the CPI last month was negative 0.4%. So that's what I'm talking about. That's feeding into our dovish interest rates. So that's all hyper bullish for crypto. So yeah, feeding that tailwind. Also, arguably a lead indicator, right? So this expansion of manufacturing, this more deflationary environment, more dovish Fed actually compared to where the market consensus is at the moment, but it is pivoting into more dovish. Then this is all lead indicators for a bullish crypto ahead. All right, so that's kind of where we are right now. We do have some other indicators there, like initial jobless claims that's going to be important as well around the employment. Remember the dual mandate for the Fed around employment and inflation. So far, we'll see what that comes in. Last time, jobless claims were below 200, so that's a bullish sign. We're at 202 expectation this time. Let's see what that comes in on Friday as well. We do have a bit of economic stuff around retail sales, but I'm really more interested in the CPI, PPI, and the initial jobless claims there moving forward, guys. So we'll see how that plays out. All right, so that is the economic data. And as you guys know, we've got the next Fed meeting. It's still quite a while away. 5 weeks, 1 day, and 16 hours ago on the 16th of September. So put that in your calendars. At the moment, the market is expecting a 25 basis point rate rise in September. It's just slightly ahead of a no change, but I suggest to you with the CPI coming out, that's going to be a pretty big determinant of where this goes next Thursday. But I'm still expecting to go dovish, not hawkish. We do have two presidents of the Fed coming, I think, with speeches this week as well. So it's going to be pretty good forward-looking comments there. October, you've got still a 50% move there. So the majority is still expecting a 25 basis point change. CPI next week, very key. You can see how CPI setup is going to be very key following on the data we've had so far, which has actually been dovish. So we'll see whether this capitulates in the market view by then. In December, there 43%, so still 25. The first time we really see a significant second rate rise is in December, 30%. But like I say, I think the data's coming in dovish, and this could all flip around by the time we get there, right? So onwards and upwards there. All right, so that is the economic data. I hope you guys enjoyed that brief commentary there, plus a little bit of geopolitics. But hey, that's just how we roll on the channel. Let's get into the total crypto market. We're going to look at the crypto majors, as we call it, here on CoinGecko. We got the total market cap at $2.27 trillion. We're down 0.4% today, so a modest down day. But let's have a look at the crypto majors. Bitcoin there, back at 64,000 on the average across the centralized exchanges and the DEXs, down 1.4% overnight. Obviously triggered there probably by Michael Saylor, and also dampened down by some of the geopolitical issues around oil and everything else. But we're still up 0.8% on the week, so still a slight gain there. Ethereum there down 1.9% at 1876. Was looking kind of good yesterday. I am looking for a breakout of Ethereum eventually versus Bitcoin. And we have seen that rise from about, 2.3% to 2.7% as a ratio of ETH to Bitcoin. So we have seen, I think, the first sort of moves on that front. We're up 0.8% for the week as well, same as Bitcoin. We're at $1,876. Now, BNB at the moment is down 0.6% over 24 hours, just a fraction, 30 cents below the $600 mark. We're up 1.8% for the week. XRP at number 6, down 1.7%, 5.9% for the week. Probably the biggest one hit by the Clarity Act, in my opinion. Sitting at $1.01. Of course, XRP and particularly Ripple doing the interbanking competition, right? And then Solana down 0.6%, just below $76, but still up 3.2% for the week. Obviously, even though it's considered a big meme chain, obviously going to benefit from quite a few things. Like Ethereum is benefiting with tokenization. Obviously, the chain not as robust as Ethereum, but certainly got the throughput, right? The throughput on there and the community. Tron at the moment up 0.3%, 0.6% for the week, 33 cents. And then we've got number 10 there, Hyperliquid, up 1.8% at $55.40. Maybe those little hits that we had over the last couple of weeks with a big seller about 2 weeks ago, and big unstaking has run its course, and Hyperliquid's been ready to go. Now, I do think we've seen quite a bit of hype moved onto exchanges as well, so we'll see what happens there. But super bullish still on Hyperliquid. We're at 1.9% for the week, and sitting at $12.3 billion at the moment. Number 11 is Doge, up 0.9% and down 0.5% for the week at 7 cents. So those are kind of our top 10 plus Doge. Let's have a look at the top 100. Well, we've got WorldCoin, so AI, digital ID, scan your eye and give up your life. Do you remember the old nonsense they used to do? Was if you don't mind, why hide something if you've got nothing to hide? Remember that? Why care about any of this sort of stuff? And of course, that turned out to be the worst thing ever, right? The Democrats suddenly, they're getting Biden to get all the social platforms to dodge in everybody and bounce everybody out with any opinions that were against the government. It didn't really matter, right? So that if you saw your opinions, you were dead in the water. We saw a lot of this stuff, right? There's just the biggest lie you could ever imagine. Anyway, we got WorldCoin there from Sam Altman, the evil genius, one would say. There's lots of dark stuff coming out of Silicon Valley. Don't go deep dive into that. It's pretty scary stuff. We got there's a lot of dark stuff coming out of Hollywood as well, but you get my point. Internet Computer there, we are up 8.4% as well. and of course 11.3% over the last week. That was one of the darlings, remember, during the bear market, and of course that's still looking pretty good. $2.34. Mantle up 5.8%, 12.9% for the week. World Liberty Financial is up 5.6%, 1.8% for the week, and Arbitrum there up 4%, obviously benefiting from Robinhood to some extent, and that is down 2% for the week at 8.1 cents. So those top five right now. Look at some of the ones that are sneaking in the bottom there. Lighter, Pump Fund there, big earners, right? Rising Stars is Lighter, and of course a hyperliquid competitor, and Pump Fund there is coming up with some of the biggest revenue in the market. Obviously cyclically driven, but man, is it looking good and probably underpriced. Has been rallying pretty hard recently, as I said, and of course it did, right? Bitway, of course, is a new star in the top 100. That's up 89% in the last week, and of course down 7.7% overnight. Pump Fund though, man, big earning, up 28.9%, 2.6% for the day. Lighter up 19%, up 3.2%. Baldex, now remember, Lighter is going to be coming along. They're going to be launching a big options product. That's where you're going to see some of the innovation coming out, guys, is in the option space, coming to crypto in a bigger way. Lighter working on a big solution there, getting a lot of partners coming in. Keep a lookout for that. Pretty awesome, not just perpetuals, but moving into option products as well. Baldex there up 13.6%, and Mantle up 12.9%. Those are your top five in the top 100 at the moment. Top 1,000 gainers, we've got Blue Whale up 76%, Lobster up 31%, and Prom up 30%. So there's the top 1,000 gainers. And trending overall is Mocat. We've got Dapos and Tutorial. Tutorial been there a couple of days in a row, but look at that profit taking after the rally, down 46% today. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Welcome to crypto, guys. So that is the total majors. Let's jump into some detail now and look at some of the drivers and some of the key updates for the week from the digital asset treasuries. Before we do that, let's say hello to Christos. Good morning, Superman. Hey, always a pleasure, man. Great to see you in the chat there. We've got some great OGs in the chat. We've got Crypto Jacks, Craig Pitt, Christos. Big welcome to all you guys. All right, so don't forget to hit the repost button on X. You guys can tell I am excited. It has been a fun time, and I'm expecting just good times keep rolling on. We'll have a few little ebbs and flows, but I think generally we're going to be enjoying ourselves moving forward here. All right, so let's jump into the Bitcoin majors. We've got BlackRock, right? So BlackRock is telling Bloomberg they've seen consistently that Bitcoin ETF investors are buying and holding Bitcoin long term. So this is pretty exciting. So this is being exhibited, they say, through this downturn. Let's have a look at the comments on this video. Hopefully it will play well, and won't have any issues there. Let me up the volume and play that. So I'm trying to mute myself. Let me know if the audio doesn't play, by the way.
Bitcoin has come down, and the ETFs track the price of Bitcoin going down. And there are a lot of people who came in maybe at 100,000 or 110. They're underwater. You're probably the guy who gets the phone calls. You're probably the guy who has to talk to them if they're like, hey, what's going on here? How is that going? How committed are they? Or are they starting to get shaky now that we've been around 65 for a while?
Well, what we've seen consistently through these 2.5 years is that the ETF investor base tends to be more of a fundamental long-term buy and hold type segment. And that's continued to be exhibited through this downturn. And, everybody who comes into Bitcoin hopefully understands that it's a volatile asset. It's always been a volatile asset, right? There have been now 5 major boom and bust cycles. Each time the cycle ends significantly higher than the prior one, but with a bumpy ride along the way. And so it's been the case in this one as well. So I think that we've seen sentiment turn in a noticeable but subtle way the last month or so. You've seen Bitcoin decouple from equities starting earlier in the year. For a while that was hurting Bitcoin because equities, particularly AI, were roaring and Bitcoin was kind of flat to down. Then in July, when AI had the huge pullback, Bitcoin outperformed significantly. That decoupling is healthy because it's part of the thesis for a lot of people around Bitcoin as a diversifier and potentially a hedge against some of the left tail risks that exist elsewhere in the portfolio.
All right, so that was a great insight there from Robert Mitchnick. He is the BlackRock head of digital assets, talking about the ETFs and, of course, having a more longer-term view. We do get cycles in and out, but essentially they have got a pretty net position. So we're going to talk about that now. All right, so let's jump into the ETFs as they are going. Well, on the 10th there, so we just closed Monday out. We were actually a negative down 1,400. Obviously, the price market moved down. But before that, last week we were having an absolute pearler, right? 1,600 on Friday. Thursday was 2,100. 3,800 on Wednesday, 3,300 on Tuesday, and 2,700 on Monday last week. So Monday was a real pearler there, and just supports what he was saying. Now, overall, of course, since the ETFs launched on the 11th of January 2024, you guys, if you're watching the show, you would have been there at the time. We've had a net buying of 653,000 Bitcoin. So he's quite right. They're long-term holders, aren't they? Looking pretty good there. All right, so that is the ETFs. We're going to pull that all over and look at ETH later on, but let's get into the Bitcoin chart. This is the hourly chart. So we had obviously Michael Saylor give us his announcement, and we were up at around 65,178. We had been up earlier in the day, 65,423 here on Coinbase. And of course, we got a sell-off, right? We also have obviously geopolitical issues going on as well, and down we came. So we came all the way down from 186, all the way down to 63, even 63,740. We're back over at 64K right now. So we'll see whether we can get some sort of reversal on this. That's on the hourly chart. Let's go to the daily chart quickly. And you can see we're above the daily at the moment still, which is 63,327. We don't really want to fall below 62,200. That would just give a bit of a trigger to our fourth wave down, and we're trying to avoid that. So obviously some of the bears are still talking about a fourth wave in October, and potentially even late November, December, January, compared to other comparable years in the past. But actually at the moment we're still holding on to this support here at 63,300. So we kind of want to hold that right now. Let's have a look at the weekly chart here on Bitcoin, kind of the 4-year moving cycle. We're still sitting right on the 4-year at the moment, which is at 64,000, I should say, and we're currently at 64,000. So OMG, we're sitting right on the 200 simple moving average, the 4-year cycle moving forward. We want to hold that blue line there. As I say, we are ticking it in. 11th of August, so we've still got September and then into October, which is a lot of people calling the bottom. So let's see what happens there. We're going to get fourth wave down. We are in the question time now between 8 and 12 weeks, and that is based on what we've seen with these other waterfall flows, right? 8 to 12 weeks. We are at the beginning of that sort of 8 to 12 week time frame, and so a decision will have to be made soon. Obviously, the Clarity Act's been deferred to mid-September. Is it going to hold us up a little bit longer? Let's see. And yeah, we'll find out. But certainly, I think clarity is far more important. Maybe not for Bitcoin in the short term, but for the Ethereum and other cryptos, it's probably more important around those theses there with more players coming into the game, like banks and small banks and who knows who else, corporates. So that's kind of the play out at the moment. So yeah, very crazy sort of time leading into this September, October. But still expecting August to be pretty good. So that is the weekly there. Let's look at the update from Michael Saylor and Strategy, the number one digital asset treasury in Bitcoin. Obviously, Strategy increased its USD reserve by $650 million and repurchased $109 million of Stretch. So obviously buying up the Stretch there. This is what they were issuing to raise debt to buy Bitcoin. Now they've been selling some Bitcoin to raise cash and repurchase. They do have a positive MNAV. In other words, they can go to the market and issue more common stock, MSTR. So the increased USD duration by 143 days to 2.7 years. You guys, are you laughing? Are you laughing? Do you remember me commentating on this? And I said, I think they should move to 3 years. Remember that? I said, they should be in 3 years. And here we are. We're moving towards 3 years. So this is pretty funny, guys. Let's see where it goes. Because if you think about, if you are in the mind of a 4-year cycle, and you want to dampen down any fudding on your digital credit strategy, then this seems to make sense, right? The other aspect, of course, is they're trying to get more like Strive, where they get rid of the debt that they've got, the convertible debt, but you want to get rid of that at a discount. So at the moment, I think 2029 is the mark on that, to get rid of that, and they've already paid off some already. Then that's where you want to head to, right? I think that's more of a midterm time frame, guys. I think the short-term time frame is to get Stretch with the proper dividend coverage. 3 years since pretty good. And even as you move forward in time, you've still, if you get a rally in the Bitcoin price, you still got to keep a decent amount of cover it. And I think 3 years is kind of the mark on there. So this is hilarious. Maybe I should go work for strategy. I don't know. You guys let them know. Let Michael know. I'm here. I'm available. I'm just kidding. I don't want to do anything like that. But that is coming up. That's coming up. All right. So we've got stretches, Titan stretches Bitcoin's credit by 10 basis points. As of the 9th of August 2026, we hold 840,000 BTC. Remember last time we looked at this, it was 42, 43. So they have sold more Bitcoin in our BTC reserves and 4.65 billion in our USD reserves. Think of that number. And I think that's more relevant to the stretch product, the digital capital. Remember, Michael Saylor calls this the iPhone moment. This is what he's trying to create, this ultimate product for the debt markets. So change your frame of mind. Obviously, he was a Bitcoin never sell type of guy. Always buy, never sell. But really, he's moved his shifting now to harvest the debt market. And I think this is a very clever move, but it has to be well managed, right? It has to be well managed. And I think he's trying to get into a well-managed position here. And I think Strive has probably been a good inspiration. Those money market, bond market guys running that are very, very clever. And we're going to talk about them quickly, shortly as well. Why is this so important? Well, obviously, you can invest in strategy or buy stretch for yield. And that's really cool. But really, it's about harvesting the debt markets, right? Getting all those hundreds of trillions of dollars, getting a fraction of that and pumping Bitcoin to the moon. Bitcoin is essentially a monopoly, a scarcity, better than gold ultimately, and we're going to see that in the coming years. I think we've only got a very small window, a 5-year window for that to be shown to be completely the case as we get lower and lower amount of Bitcoin to be mined out. And so it's a very exciting. I don't know. I really do see Bitcoin as inevitable. That being said, the only way I could see Bitcoin getting defeated ultimately is on-ramp, off-ramps. That would be the only thing that I could say. But the market's got clever ways of trying to get around that. So we shall see. We shall see. All right, so let's jump into some of the other stuff there. We got 14 hours ago stretch BTC credit is calculated using our credit model. We assume inputs of 10% BTC ARR, so average return there. And of course, we've got 40% BTC volume and a BTC price of 64, just under 65K there. Now, let's jump out of here. We've got another update as well. Let me just scroll back up here. So on that news, the price of Bitcoin did start to go down at that time. So let's have a look at the overview of where they're at the moment. So they've got 840,447 Bitcoin. We've got, let's jump into the other stuff here. I just wanted to look at the MNAV, still 1.06. The MSTR of the common stock is $97.33, so that came down. It was over $100 last week, so it's come down a little bit there. The Bitcoin per share has gone down at the moment, so we've gone down to 198,289, and the net has gone down to 143,015. So just very important there. So that is a short-term. I think it's a short-term pain for a long-term gain. So they have accumulated. I'm just trying to remember the number here. I think it was 165,000 Bitcoin. I think they've bought this year and have sold 7,000 so far. So that's the net out. And now a lot of Bitcoin they've bought is at lower prices, right? So that means they're selling Bitcoin that's largely in the money quite a bit, right? So they've still got a big part of their portfolio that is in the money. I think the average price at the moment is around 74,000, something like that. And so, yeah, that's a big deal. So they are selling stuff that's in the money. Their goal is to be accretive. And so this is where I think it's going. So I think it's pretty good capital management. You got your interest coverage, and that's pretty important. So let's have a look here. So yeah, we've got BTC gain, 11,393 Bitcoin for year to date. So it's a 1.7%, obviously after selling a bit. So that would probably have been up at 18 or so. Let's go to their stretch dashboard quickly. So this is their preferred stock debt product here. That's sitting at $94.33 right now, so below the $100 mark that we're after to start raising capital from the markets. But I think they're going to get back there this second half of the year once they've finished their capital management up. And so let's have a look where we are at right now. Let me just scroll. The dividend yield is 12%. The effective yield is 12.72% because the price is below $100. Yeah, so that's pretty much where we are on that. Now, so they're getting the preferred stock looking real good. Just let that run. Some people say that Well, Sailor should have done nothing. I think that's not actually proper. The market wants to see the stretch product get proper dividend management, and I think that's what they've done. And I think that's going to make it stronger. Some people thought it was just going to go back to $100 by itself, but I don't think so. When people say, hey, they haven't got enough money to cover the dividends for a couple of years, that's a problem, right, for a lot of big players. Even retail players are going to have issue with that. We got Blair in house. Hi all, good to see you, Blair. Big shout out. So the big thing about this is, just from a big picture point of view, is harvesting the debt market and pumping Bitcoin. So I think we're going to get back to that sooner after they've finished this. This might be, I don't know whether they're going to do another week of this, and to get that 3 years. And I think they'll probably stop there. I think it'd be a bit silly going to 4 years. So I think 3 years is quite good, and that'd probably be the case. Now, there's also the side that they have their debt, right? So the debt here. Let's go to the debt here. So the debt is currently, market value is 2.4 billion. Their current notional value was 2.7. So the issuance there, and as you can see, the one that's really if you're going to pay it off, is the 2029, right? So 1.5 billion issuance. It's less than that now, 1339, and so that's looking not like the one you would pay off. But I think that's a midterm thing. Also, 2030 Bs discounted. In other words, you're paying them off at a discount, which is generally accretive over time. In other words, a benefit to you to doing it. 31's a little bit under as well, and 32 is pretty much the same. So I think 29 is probably the first one there. Like I say, I think that's a medium-term goal, as they will probably want to get rid of all this convertible debt over time as a medium goal. That's why I see a medium goal. Short-term goal, credit management, tick. Medium goal, they'll get back to buying more Bitcoin they've been selling. So they might have sold 7,000, but once they get back to $100 on stretch, they can issue heaps of money and buy tens of thousands more Bitcoin. See what I mean? That's like a short-term pain for a medium long-term gain, and then a convertible debt, they can pay that out, at different incremental times, and start paying off that too. So obviously, they may or may not be a discount at that time, but we'll see as we move forward. So that's kind of where I feel the strategy is at the moment. So yeah, nothing to see here. And remember, Bitcoin is still a strategy, because it's only a buyer seller. It's still just a small fraction of the actual market in Bitcoin, right? Because all that Bitcoin they've got, that 840,000, it's all sunk. It's all supply sunk. It's considered off the market for the most part. I mean, obviously they've been selling a little bit of Bitcoin to get the capital management up, but really it's a nothing burger. And so small term hit on the price today, and then gone tomorrow kind of thing. So that's kind of where I feel this is going on the old Michael Saylor. We did have Fong Li, which is the new CEO, right? He says our USD reserve and duration are now at all-time highs. In 2.5 months, we've added 3.8 billion and grew both more than 5x. This is the digital capital management framework at work. Now, some people they might want to raise enough capital to close out all the collateral debt in short term. Yeah, they could do that, but I think that's pretty dangerous on the preferred stock. So I don't see that happening. The market needs certainty, and that's where I think it's in favor of all that money being raised for covering the digital credit. Be pretty crazy to not do that. That would put a lot of downward pressure on the assets. Common stock, etc. If they did that, not great. They're trying to mature the industry, not wreck it with a lot of volatility and confidence. And at the moment, they're heading in the right direction. So I really don't see that playing, but I see it as an intermediate, sort of a medium-term goal to get rid of that convertible debt and get their balance sheet looking clean, just with amplification, no leverage, just like Strive has got, right? So that's going to play. And maybe amplification, this is raising money from the bond markets through the stretch product, is maybe they get up to 67%, something like that is probably the max they want to go. And that assumes, a good return, a CARG on Bitcoin, 30% plus, let's say, over the years ahead. All right, so that's from Fong Li and Digital Credit Framework at work. So that's, I think, what they're leading to there. You can see their cool chart here as well. 4.65 billion, 2.7 years. Now, only on the 26th of May, after they paid down their first convertible debt, I remember they had 2.25 billion in January, and then they paid the convertible debt down for, I think it was 27 or 29, can't remember which one now. But they got down to half a year, dude, 6 months. And that's when the market didn't like it. The market didn't like that at all. They want to get paid. And so now they're back up to 2.7 years, which is back where they were in January. So interesting. Are they going to stop here at 2.7 years? Will they go to 3 years and finish next week? If not, they'll wait for they'll keep buying up a bit of, raising a bit of capital just to buy up a bit more stretch, get that back to $100. Typically, they were only going to buy at lower prices, but they've already shown they're going to buy slightly higher prices over $90. So we'll see. I think they're pretty close, though. I think they're pretty close, and we could see maybe by the end of August they're buying some Bitcoin and going back up to even higher. Right? They start raising $1 billion of debt from the debt markets. They can buy tens of thousands of Bitcoin. So selling 7,000 so far this year is nothing bigger in that frame. So I think that's enough of my commentary about that. With reflections on this. Let's scroll back up the top here. I think there was one other thing I was going to look at quickly. There is a cool video here with Fong Li. I'm not going to play it. It's 6 minutes because we've got so much to talk about. But if you want to go check that out from Fong Li, he was on Fox News discussing their strategy as well. You can go watch that. Have we got time? 40 minutes. I don't know. Do you guys want to? Should we do it? Let's do it. Let's do it. We've got plenty of time. We're going to be doing a mega stream today. And this is actually pretty insightful stuff. So let's check it out.
Strategy trimming its Bitcoin treasure trove again. According to regulatory filings, the world's largest corporate holder of the digital token sold more than 1,600 Bitcoin for more than $108 million total. Strategy sold the Bitcoin at an average price of about $64,200. It's the second consecutive week the company has sold and marks the 7th week in a row it has not made any Bitcoin purchases. Let's find out what the plan is. Joining me now in a Fox Business exclusive, Strategy CEO Fong Li. I get the selling for the moment because you got to raise some cash, because you've got the preferred shareholders that you need to make sure you pay their dividend. But why no purchasing of Bitcoin at all?
Yeah, let's start with some perspective, Liz. We now have 840,000 Bitcoin. Since the beginning of the year, we've bought 175,000 Bitcoin and we've sold 7,000, so about 25x more. And in the last 3 months, we've gone from being the number 2 institutional holder of Bitcoin in the world to the number 1. Right? So I think we've bought a lot throughout the course of the year. We've increased our holdings 25%. I've said we're now the JP Morgan of the digital economy. And we'll get back to buying more Bitcoin throughout the course of the year.
What, does the price have to go down, or you want to see it go up? Right now it's at $63,950 per Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's not really price related. What we've been doing over the course of the last few months is adding to our US dollar reserve, right? So we've added 175,000 Bitcoin this year, sold 7,000, and we've actually increased our US dollar reserve to 4.75 billion from about 800 million. So that's been our focus over the last few weeks, and then we'll get back to buying Bitcoin at some point in time. And it's not price related, it's about whether we can do it accretively to our common shareholders.
It was last October that Bitcoin hit 126,000. Obviously it's been cut in half, 64,000 at the moment. This has lasted kind of a long time. It's come up off the floor. But that said, how much longer do you anticipate this, and would you call it a crypto winter?
Yeah, I think it's reasonable to call it a bear cycle. It's been about 8 months, right? And if you go back to 2022, the last time we had a prolonged bear cycle, that started in about May of 2022. And it really went into the beginning of 2023. So a 8 to 12 month down cycle is not unusual. But what you find, and if you go back and look at the 18-year history of Bitcoin, every time there's a down cycle, Bitcoin comes back stronger the next time.
We've seen that, absolutely true. Never guaranteed, but that has been the history of it since the birth of Bitcoin. The question becomes for investors who bought MicroStrategy at more than $400 a share, and now we look at it, it's at $97 a share. What do you say to those investors who are out there saying this is a sign of financial distress, that Strategy is selling, is actually selling Bitcoin?
I look at the underlying characteristics of the company. We have 4% leverage. We have now 2.7 years of dividend coverage. We have $55 billion worth of Bitcoin on our balance sheet. None of that signals financial distress. I understand, to our common shareholders, the stock has been down. I look at the history since we've been buying Bitcoin. Since August of 2020, Bitcoin has been up 33%. We've been up 42%, right? And so anyone who's investing in Bitcoin knows that it's a long time horizon asset, which has high returns, high volatility. If you're going to invest in MSTR, which is amplified Bitcoin, we have higher returns, higher volatility. Mm-hmm. And those who are looking for a shorter duration asset with lower volatility, that's why we created Stretch, STRC. And It is, you know, you do have to have the stomach for the volatility and longer duration to be a common shareholder of ours.
Yeah, it's sort of a buyer beware. This is a rough ride. It is not smooth. Michael Saylor, who of course is the chairman and had been the CEO, he recently posted on X this, and it was a picture of Bitcoin strategy reserve value with the caption, quote, doing business. Can you interpret that for us? What did he mean doing business?
We've been doing business every week for the last 6 years related to Bitcoin. The big difference between our business 4 years ago is we were basically buying Bitcoin, issuing debt, and buying more Bitcoin. We were levered Bitcoin. What's changed now is we have a lot more options. We can sell US dollars, we can sell Bitcoin, we can sell our prefers, we can sell our equity, and we can buy all of those things. So business is just a lot more options.
Is it a decision made between you two about whether to sell some Bitcoin each week, or is it you? Is it Michael Saylor?
We talk 3 to 4 times a day, okay. And we consult with our finance team and we listen to our shareholders. But we talk quite a bit, so it's a joint decision. And of course, the board has guidelines around what we can do.
We've just got not too much time left, like 30 seconds, but the Clarity Act. What are you hearing? The Senate has not passed it, and it would give some much wanted guidance and regulation to the industry, which is actually asking for it.
Yeah, look, I think having clarity coming from the government, especially from Congress, would be positive right now. And it looks like they're going to vote for this come mid-September. So I think there's positivity comes out of that. Regardless, there's good rulemaking coming out of the SEC that will progress Bitcoin clarity.
Phong Le, CEO of Strategy. Great to have you. Thank you very much.
All right, so there we go. Phong Le there, the CEO of Strategy. Pretty insightful stuff in that little clip. Look, I think, you know, they're just getting that coverage for 2.7 to 3 years is probably the zone for the stretch. They're also buying back some stretch to push the price up to get it back to $100 because there's some optionality about raising more debt that way and getting confidence back in the market. And then getting back to becoming another net buyer of Bitcoin again moving forward. So short-term pain, medium-term gain, and as a further afield, probably get rid of that leverage, that convertible debt over time as well over the next few years. So that's sort of something where I think they're heading, and so far so good. So far so good. And for the wider market, you're saying, show me the money, right? Where's the money coming from? Well, with the digital assets there, it is raising money from the debt markets to buy more Bitcoin. That's essentially the strategy, and that will benefit common stakeholders eventually after this little hit. And then, of course, also the stretch holders as well, earning those high yield dividends and offering us super products to the money market debt markets. Instead of earning 2-4%, you can earn 12%. So it's a pretty game changer there. Now, over time, that we'll probably expect to go down, relatively speaking, but certainly looking very exciting indeed. All right, so that's a cool way to look at it. I'm going to finish up with Michael Saylor saying we intend to make Stretch the iPhone of digital assets, and they're going to have to do that with good capital management. Essentially that, rather than being a Ponzi scheme or something like that people hold criticisms to. All right, so let's jump into the number 7 digital asset treasury, which is Strive. We're going to briefly just look at this one. Obviously, Strive, some argue that Strategy will eventually be the most valuable company in the world. I mean, we'll see. Certainly got a good chance of that. Now, the other one, of course, is Strive, looking to be the fastest growing company in the world. And they're sitting at number 7 on digital asset treasury. They just went over 20,000 Bitcoin, as you guys know. Well, they just had their quarterly highlights there, and their BTC yield of 24% in 2026 and 38% for the first half of 2026. So looking pretty good so far. They started daily dividends. Obviously, they've moved to that innovation. So now we have Stretch with bi-monthly, and we have SATA with daily dividends, which is a game changer, guys. So imagine having a broker account, or in this case now you can have tokenized assets in your wallet, and you are earning essentially a daily dividends there, which I think is based on the workday divided annualized to 365. I think that's how they do it. And then, of course, we've got retired 100% of debt as well. They've got no debt, all right? So it's just all amplification, just raising, selling SATA to the market over $100 and buying that way, which is pretty crazy. So they can also obviously lever adding more common stock, but of course, ultimately, both Strategy and Strive are wanting to be accretive to the holders, ultimately in Satoshis, right? More Satoshis, the better. But obviously, a short-term hit on that for a longer-term gain. That's kind of the play. But Strive, run by very good money market managers and with no debt. So real supremacy there. Strive also acquired 147 Bitcoin last week and now holds 20,167 Bitcoin there, sitting at number 7 on the DAT rich list. They've got a new treasury dashboard and website available today at Strive. Now we're going to quickly check it out. I haven't checked this out actually. They do have obviously a stream on that, but this is their dashboard, looking pretty cool. So you've got the digital credit, they got the treasury, and etc. So pretty cool. Let's have a quick look at the digital credit here as well. I don't know if they've got the dashboard on here. Let's have a look. Let's going through some of the stuff there. Anyway, let's explore SATA. I'm just having a quick look at this now while we're on live stream. Yeah, there's their balance. Dividend reserve, 18 months. So we saw, 27 months, 2.7 years. We've got a year and a half here at the moment, and that's a pretty good level. As I said, the minimum you want to have really is 18 months, and if you can maintain that, I think that's pretty good. All right, let's see, what else? What else we got in here? Let's have a look at Treasury. They got their SATA product, which is their preferred stock, like Stretch is for Strategy. They got their ASST common stock, like MSTR is for Strategy, and of course they got the Bitcoin there as well. So that's the total Bitcoin held there, not bad. They got their value. The average cost is 94,477. BTC is 64 at the moment. They're down 32% on that. Bitcoin acquired 267 in the last day, and that's a similar chart to what you see with Moxato and Strategy. Not bad there. They got all their purchases as well, so you can see their averages. Like I say, some of the purchases may have been real cheap. Not for Strive so much, but for some of the other digital asset treasuries for sure. In fact, they've been getting most of their cheap Bitcoin recently, right? I think the cheapest one's there, 59,000, 60,000 there. Now let's go. They're a recent, entry, relatively speaking. Now, if we look at this ASST, their common stock, you got the price. Where's the price on there? Market price $12.44 and $1.1 billion market cap. So really chance with no leverage. This could really fly. So not bad. And then SATA is their preferred stock, raising money from the debt markets, $98.67. So not far away, guys. From $100, obviously down from yesterday. They were getting very close to $100 again. With a higher effective yield, they're going to get there first, right? Sailor Stretch has got 12%, is 13%. There's different collateral metrics. Core strategies are really big and all that sort of stuff. But these guys have no leverage. It's just amplification with the Stretch product. And look, it's trying to get to that dotted line, right? Get there. Last time it was there was the 17th of June. So trying to get back over there, and they may or may not raise more capital that way, but I suggest they are, right? That's what they're in business for. So yeah, that's kind of it. Now you can go watch their podcast on their annual returns there, 51 minutes there on the hurdle rate, and check that out if you want to follow more on that. Pretty cool. All right, so this is the money, right? The money, we're following the money. The money's coming in this way, and we'll get back to it. Maybe by the end of this month, we'll be back into harvesting the debt markets and pumping all that money into crypto. Why not, eh? Why not? That's the way we go, and offering the debt markets a better product. All right, so that is pretty much Bitcoin. Let's get into Ethereum. Now, obviously, Ethereum came down with the rest of the market as well. We had popped up here up at 1,936. We ended up capitulating in the same time when Strategy came out at $1,921. And, of course, down we came all the way to 1,865. We're back at 1,876 now on the daily. On the hourly charts. Let's jump over to the daily quickly on the old ETH. Let's see where we're at on this. We got the 50-day moving average at $1,808. We're quite comfortably in above that at the moment, and we've got the 200-day at 2,039. You guys know our next target to get over is 2,000, and we've got the 200-day moving average down, moving towards that pretty closely. So obviously we want to get up to maybe 2,050 on the next move. Break away from this. So that's what we're looking for there on ETH. Let's go to the weekly quickly. And I'm not going to go through too much of this, but last year we had a huge recovery in 133 days with a 3.5x in ETH. That can happen too. Is it going to happen before October, with the old bear situation, or are we going to get a fourth wave down? We shall see. But at the moment, we've got 200-day moving average at 2,487. So after the 2,000 line down here, we're then going to get over 2,500, and we have the 50 weekly moving average, I should say, at $2,662 coming down as well. So it makes it a bit easier to climb above that, to move high here. But you guys know crypto moves pretty strong here. As I say, all the catalysts are all the same. I keep repeating every day, and that is stablecoins, Genius Act, tokenization, and agentic AI, and all the innovations around those two. And overarching all that is finance coming from TradeFi and innovative finance from DeFi, taking over the old blockchain. And of course, mass adoption coming through multiple routes. Mr. Beast with Bitmine immersion, and big social platforms like X Money on X and things like that. So those sort of things, and that's going to bring mass adoption to the popular cryptos like ETH, etc., as well as use of the chain. So pretty exciting. We've also seen, of course, Bitmine and SharpLink, and the CEOs Tom Lee and Joseph Chalom, and of course the co-founder of Ethereum, Joseph Lubin, all come in and set up all these nodes around the Ethereum Foundation, ETH Labs, ETH Systems, ETH Institutional. They've got, I think, a couple more coming, and I wouldn't be surprised if one of those some sort of marketing platform. And so we've got leadership happening there in a big way. So we're on the offensive now. Commercialization's happening, institutional adoption. It's pretty exciting. Now, we've obviously seen just in the last couple of days some of the top institutions coming in buying Bitmine immersion shares at this discount at the moment. They see the future. The future's game on. Institutions are coming, positioning, and we see the ETFs playing the long game. It's all happening. Just sometimes it's slower than it's happening in slow-mo, but it's all happening pretty fast. So that's pretty exciting there on the old ETH. So let's jump away as well. I'm not going to talk about tokenization today, but I just want to quickly look at the ETF flows for Ethereum, just like we did for Bitcoin. Well, we've got 2,780. So we had 5 good days in the office. Look at this for ETH. So just on the Monday, 2,800 ETH there buy. So we've had positive days coming in. I really, obviously we're going to have some sell days in a row, but I really think like what's game on now, right? Things are really, positioning is really taking place. We've got whales coming in early. We've got the ETFs looking good. We've got DATS still looking strong, buying as well. We saw more buying from Bitmine at lower volumes, but they're getting there now, and so huge. And so, yeah, since the 23rd of July, we've now got a total buying of 2.9 million ETH there from the ETFs. Got and stuff like that. We've got the DTCC coming in October. That is, I think, the most pivotal point coming up. Ether will follow that, and of course, many other majors, Solana, etc., Canton, blah blah blah. They all follow on there because they need this needs so much space on these blockchains for all the various categories of tokenization occurring. And the head of the DTCC said, "Look, we can't. Our clients can't wait to get on. We had so many when we did our trial in July. We can't wait to get on. So we're going to get a lot of ramp up. It's not going to all happen just instantly, but it's going to happen very quickly in big chunks every single month. I think from October, even a little bit front running in September is what was indicated. But then January, December, January, February, March. I mean, it is going to keep coming on, and big rates and knots there. Pretty awesome." All right, so remember, DTC is huge, man. It's got 114 trillion under management. It's got 4.6 quadrillion in settlements last year. I mean, it's just huge. It's just enormous. They need so much block space, and therefore, all these nodes that are being set up by the foundations to commercialize and to ramp up. We've got Glamsterdam coming for Ethereum. All the stuff is positive for making bigger pipes because DTCC is the water pipe works, the waterworks, as it say, and it's coming to take over crypto too. Unfortunately, that's the downside, is that we're going to have all the major players coming to take over the same systems. I think they've got some good people in there, but they've also got the usual, control thing going on. You know how it works. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Now, look, anything that moves to further disintermediate banks, the better. A lot of Generation X and Generation Y, millennials, even Generation X and boomers, they're all going to be moving, hopefully away from banks. More and more of the market away from banks. Banks are a terrible entities. if you've ever experienced them either inside or outside the banks, people want to be free from the banks. They're basically like Marxist governments. We want to get away from banks as much as we possibly can, right? So disintermediation is a great side benefit or global benefit there moving forward. All right, and so for those not familiar with the term disintermediation, just getting rid of the middleman, like Richard Hart often says, and that's getting rid of that bank and all the pain in the ass they are. All right, so that's kind of the play there. Let's jump away into Bitmine. This is the update. This is our final update for the majors. I said, I love the beginning of every week because we have these big updates from the weekly DATs and digital asset treasuries. It's pretty exciting. So Bitmine, let's get into the secret source. It's the number one, just like Strategy is the number one DAT or digital asset treasury for Bitcoin. There's the number one digital asset treasury for Ethereum. And of course, they are showing great leadership here. There's a lot of commentators out there talking about Bitmine. They are missing a big picture. The digital asset treasury is just the foundation. It's just the foundation. They're building a big superstructure over the top of it. And that's where the big value is going to be added. The DAT's going to be very valuable as ETH goes up as a leverage with the MNAV. And then we're going to get the superstructure on top. It's going to be gorgeous. I think it's going to be huge. Tom Lee's playing for the big game here. He's going to get paid very well for doing it. And he's the perfect crossover man, right? Crossover man there. And of course, working with Joseph Chalom there from SharpLink. This is a match made in heaven, along with Joseph Lubinin as well. It's pretty awesome. So fun times ahead. Right, Bitmine provided its latest holdings update for August the 10th. 11.6 billion in total crypto plus moonshots. Moonshots are these sort of unicorns that are going to be relevant to crypto and blockchain. 5.5,805,238 ETH right now is their holding. We saw 2.7, I think it was, for the ETH holdings and the ETFs. Well, Bitmine dwarfs that. Pretty exciting. I think the average price is about $3,100 now for the average price on the for Bitmine, just to give you an average. Just like we saw, Strive was actually kind of expensive. Strategies is quite a bit lower. What was it, about 20K lower or something on average purchase? But 5,800 ETH on total purchase here. And of course, they've been buying ETH at pretty low prices at the moment. If we think we're down near the bottom, they've been picking up quite a bit, dragging their average price down. Now they still have 209 Bitcoin. I think they're still mining a little bit of Bitcoin, if I remember rightly. They were a Bitcoin miner for SharpLink before Tom Lee came in and took it over in June. And then 180 million stake in Mr. Beast. This is one of the routes to mass adoption for crypto. Mr. Beast, of course, videos hit 1 in 3 people on the internet every month. And he bought, with this $200 million, he went and bought Leap, which is a financial application to make it some sort of banking service. But here's where I think the ad is going to be. Obviously, with the digital asset treasury of Ethereum, the power of Ethereum that's held by Bitmine, they're going to make this some sort of application layer. That's part of that superstructure that I'm talking about, and mass adoption to Generation Z, Alpha, Millennials, etc. And of course, they're going to be educating people on money, which is well overdue. Like, how many people do you know out there are just terrible with money? I mean, it's honestly, I reckon it's like 8 or 9. Probably, let me rephrase that. It's probably 90 out of 100 people are bad with money, and that's pretty harsh. But it's just the way it goes. I constantly meet, all sorts of people, family members, friends, etc. Just consumers, in debt, credit cards, blah blah blah. You guys know it. And just a basic, money management would change their life, right? Would change their life. But no, they have to have the latest and greatest, or etc. You guys know what it's like. So your money management is really important. Mr. Beast is a passion of his, but he's also obviously, he can't always be the young guy doing all the big shows. He knows he has to diversify, and of course he's got the audience to make a multi-billion-dollar company, right? Maybe probably $1 trillion company plus very, very soon. So onwards and upwards for him. I think only recently they reached $1 billion in revenue, but this thing's about to go next level, right? About to go next level. So we're looking forward to those launches. Haven't seen anything particularly yet, but we may see something from Mr. Beast and maybe even Tom Lee there with selling ETH services or something like that through the app by the end of this year, if not beginning of next year. So that's something we're keeping a lookout. And that would be one of our first main routes to mass adoption for blockchain and Ethereum. And this is where all the money comes from, right? The retail, mass adoption, the institutions, the corporates, the sovereign states. And this is coming through a lot of these mega themes, stablecoins, tokenization, agentic AI, etc. as well, right? So it's going to be a pretty big deal there. All right, so that's kind of cool. Agentic, of course, maybe as big as retail mass adoption in the world will be, the agentic could be way bigger, right? Could be way bigger. So some people have that humans will end up being just a rounding error in the actual number of agents working on crypto and using payments, because it's just so digital infinity, right? That sort of thing. So it's going to be, well, it's not infinity, is it? We've got capacity limits, but you get my point. We got 69 million staked in 8Co there with orbs. So that there links us into AI. So that's another one too. Total cash and marketable securities of 104 million. So their cash is pretty low now, down to 104 mil. So we'll see what they do in the next few weeks. It's going to be pretty interesting. Let's go down at the moment. So we can see Bitmine immersion is at $18.10 right now, down 3.8% overnight, obviously down with Ethereum. Even though it was pretty good news from Ethereum, from Bitmine, because the Bitcoin went down on strategy, it actually pulled down Ethereum as well. And so we got a pull down in Bitmine, despite the fact that it was actually good news compared to the perceived update from strategy, even though strategy's one was actually probably good, just a short-term hit for the long-term gain. We are disappointed that Clarity Act will not see a Senate vote, says Tom Lee, before the August recess, but financial markets seem more focused on the recent softer inflation and jobs data. And that's why I said to you, I'm moving more dovish. Tom Lee is definitely dovish. The odds of a September hike in the Federal Reserve have fallen to 40% from 75% 2 weeks ago, says Tom Lee. So once again, moving from hawkish to dovish. And of course, we expect easing financial conditions to be a tailwind for crypto, which is the language I use as well. And it's the case. It's going to be pretty good. All right, so there we go. That's pretty cool. Number 3, since Bitmine pivoted to an Ethereum's treasury strategy on the 30th of June last year, sizable outperformance of ETH versus Bitcoin on the monthly has typically been followed by Bitmine's shares outperforming ETH over the following month. So we're expecting this to do well in the next month or two. In July, ETH outperformed Bitcoin by 1,100 basis points, similar to July 2025, December 2025, March 2026. And in those instances, Bitmine shares saw strong outperformance over ETH in the following 2 months. We continue to view Bitmine's common shares as undervalued, and the company's repurchased 3 million. So another 3 million, guys, which means that they're up to 19 millions they've bought back over the last 4 weeks of their shares. And that's actually, I think it's been pretty good. It's lifted the ETH per share dramatically. I think it's pretty exciting. I think it was 4 point. I better not take it off the top of my head because I've got 2 different numbers in my head, so one of them is going to be wrong. Since the start of July, this buyback remains the largest ever executed by any Ethereum Bitcoin DAT. Well, that's pretty easy to do. Tom Lee puts a lot of good stuff out, but he also does a lot of what we might call promotional propaganda kind of stuff. It's like, okay, it's kind of true, but it's pretty weak. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weak, but he also has the good stuff. So this is actually good though. This buying back shares is the best strategy right now, adding value to the holders of BMNR. This buyback remains the largest ever executed. Yeah, we talked about that. And of course, they can buy back up to 4 billion on the repurchase program. So they're only just a fraction of that right now. This is a little chart that summarized everything he was saying. So, we have ETH beats BTC, and then BMR common stock runs. That's kind of the idea there. What will you get for August? I think it's going to be pretty good. All right, so that's kind of the play right now. I think it's super cheap, right? These shares could be worth insane amounts when ETH runs and with the superstructure gets built on top of the foundation of the DAT. There's lots of stuff to be said about that, but I'm not going to go into all of it. This is so cheap right now at $18. This thing could be worth $500 to $1,500 in the years to come, maybe even more than that. So there's lots of different variables there, but very bullish about this right now. It's going to be potentially one of the big killer valuations. Over the past week, we acquired 7,400 ETH as well. So not only did they buy that 3 million shares, they also bought more ETH. So you've got to remember, there's less shares in the market, relatively speaking, and then they buy more ETH, so your ETH per share goes up. I think there was a bit of issuance going on as well with the common stock possibly, so we might see that net down a little bit. But Bitmine has bought ETH every week since the inception of the ETH Treasury strategy on June the 30th, 2025, about 14 months ago. And think about it, they've got 5.8 million ETH, and they're heading towards 6 million at their 5% target, right? Weekly ETH buyers, 7,400 there. So, they definitely lowered them down over the last 4 weeks, but have also been doing a split strategy, buying those shares back. So bought 19 million shares. All right, so that is the play right now on that. Let's just get almost to round this up. As of the August the 9th, Bitmine total staked ETH stands at 5,067,000, worth 9.8 billion at the current price of ETH. Bitmine has staked more ETH than any other entities in the world, and that is true. At scale, Bitmine ETH is fully staked by Maven. That's its staking platform, a very expensive platform, I might add. With using ETH towers, it's one of the negatives I have for Bitmine is the expense of ETH towers. I don't know. Sometimes these guys, they're great entrepreneurs, but they always pay the most expensive solution. I don't know. I think they could have done it a lot cheaper. They also got a 2% holding, I think, as well in the ETH. So I don't know. It's a little bit inexpensive, but regardless, if all the superstructure and the underlying foundation gets valuable, then I guess it's it's just an expensive ticket. And we'll get less as a percentage. As at scale, when Bitmine's ETH is fully staked by Maven, its partners' projected ETH staking reward is 300 million on an annualized basis at 2.63%. Like I say, this is not full disclosure, and it's the one thing I have a problem with Tom Lee. He is obviously selling this a lot. We are hyper bullish about where this is going to be in terms of valuation in the future. This is on the low end right now from our perspective. Obviously, $12 was the cheap end, but we're still in the low zone under $20. And so, yeah, 294, but he's paying a lot for ETH towers out of this money. I'm just trying to remember the amount, but maybe we'll do a breakdown of that. I'm just trying to remember which number it is. I got a couple of numbers in my head. So when you get a couple of numbers, just don't talk about it, right? Just don't work. You don't want to talk about information that's incorrect. Analyzed staking revenues are now predicted to 257 million. And of course, this is exciting time. So, they've gone up from 4.9 million. They've added another 150,000 ETH. So they're just going up and up in income. Exciting times, guys, exciting times. All right, so that's the chart there showing the income there. So looking forward to this. All right, so huge things coming from Bitmine. Really great strategy right now on the common stock and increasing the ETH. And also they've got a bigger role, right, leading the mass adoption and finance adoption on Ethereum. Very excited there. With the leadership and the collaborations, very open-minded with other leaders. So it's game on. Flooding capital and equity markets into crypto. So we've got debt from strategy with the Bitcoin, and then we're going to have equity, particularly coming through as well from the Ethereum side. So really exciting with that, and that's going to pump everyone's backs, guys, because it's going to circulate around. Everyone's going to get rich in one chain and then go buy some cheap stuff on other stuff. That's kind of the idea, right? So that's kind of cool. And remember, PulseChain is downstream from all this stuff. All right, so that is the play on the majors. Man, we spent an hour and 12 minutes on that. Hope you guys enjoyed that content, and we added a few more insights today than we have in the past. That is the goal. Now it's time to get into ready to rumble, right? PulseChain has been on an absolute tear. Off the bottom, one would say. So we're going to break down these charts and bring it all up. All right, let's get into it. We're going to see where we are at on this chart. Let me break it down. I have been putting out a few little HEX and PulseChain clips out of these live streams. Hopefully that's been useful for people that are particularly busy and they can't watch an hour and 15 to 2 hours. And they like just watching a couple minute videos. So we're trying to do that too. Let's see here. Let's go to the Rat Pulse. I don't think we've got any big project launches at the moment. We are waiting for VersaVault from Triple Dad. That's supposed to be launching this month. We also waiting for Liberty Swap to roll out. And I did see that David Feather is moving to full-time into PulseChain. So, just lift those PulseChain prices and get more activity. And some of our entrepreneurs that are doing amazing jobs in the validated hardware space and now AI agents is exciting. So very cool to see David Feather going full-time there. Slowly and surely. Positive flywheel stuff, guys. Positive flywheel. All right, so let's get into the charts here for PulseChain. We've got day 1,186 in play. Let's get into it. We're an hour and 30 minutes into probably what's going to be a 2-hour live stream. Let's just be frank. Be frank with this. We're going all in today. We've got 1,186 is the day. The PulseChain launched on the 30th of May, 2023. PulseChain is down up 2.1%. There we go. That was the right direction. HEX is down 0.75%, so hardly nothing in that. Sitting just over 0.3 of a penny, looking real good. ProveX at the moment at 4,056 is up 0.8%. PulseX is up 2.3% at 509 something, and then Inc is at 49 cents, almost at 50 cents, up 1.63%. So modest increases apart from HEX just at the time of stream, just down a fraction, but looking very good indeed. Let's look at the gas prices, some of the global metrics. We look at gas prices. We're at 357,000 beats, so super cheap on PulseChain. 53 pulse per a PulseX swap. That is 500th of a penny. Moving to the validators, which we've been following as well. Yeah, we're continuing to climb back, just back up. 46,840. Added another, 20, 40 validators today. Pretty exciting. $318 to get a validator at the moment. If you're solo validating, or you can public validate through Vouch and ValidateX and products like that, or go even more riskier, or at least high risk return with some of our DeFi farms and DeFi applications. There's lots of opportunities now around. And then let's go to the bridge stats. Obviously, this has been a lead indicator. 67 million. You guys know we bottomed down at 47.4, so we're almost $20 million up on the bridge value. That is awesome stuff, right? So let's give that a round of applause. So obviously we've got volume coming in the bridge. We've got values going up. So everything's looking good, right? TVL and volumes, exciting times. Up 5.25% today, 15% for the week, and 38% almost for 30 days. We're at another green day, 240,000 guys. Awesome. We've got a lot of that is USDC coming in, 261K, 116 DAI. Still got quite a bit of HEX coming in at 90K, and a bit of wrapped ETH at 80K as well. So looking pretty good in USD Tether. Going out is wrapped ETH, 193K worth, 105 ETH went out, 110,000 USDC. So obviously netting out 606K in, 367 out, 240K in. Another green day in the office. Boy, have you guys been enjoying the last 3 or 4 weeks? Awesome stuff there. All right, let's jump into PulseChain. And PulseChain at the moment on the chart, this is the daily chart. Look at this, looking beautiful. Here we are. And I almost wanted to go live yesterday because I was so excited about it, but I did do an X post. And that is, we have the 200 moving average at 5.09956. And look where we are, 5 zeros at the moment, and the price 99421. So we're pretty much just a fraction underneath it. Let's just say we're on the line, which is pretty bullish, right? Exciting stuff. Now the RSI, when we did this last attempt to get up here, we had the RSI at 81.4 on the daily, and we were elevated on the stochastic. At the moment, we've come down. We're still elevated just above the 70, which is getting into the overbought market. But I think we could go pretty hot here. But look at the stochastic. The stochastic is way down 56 there. That sounded weird with my accent, doesn't it? I don't know what happened there. Anyway, moving forward, we got the stochastic there at 55, and we've got plenty of room to move. So this is, remember, RSIs are kind of lagged, but this is exciting. We're in good territory here. No whale has come to rain on the parade so far. That's pretty good. At some point they've got to say, well, we want the chain to run, right? We want the chain to run and mad gains and all. So I guess that's hopefully we're in that territory, right? Let's jump into the 4 hours, see what room we've got to move. At the moment, we've got the stochastic coming right down. We've got the RSI at 60. We're looking good there. We're cooled off here. We've bounced off the 21 moving average for 4 hours, and that was at 9,600 with 5 zeros in front, and we're back up there. So we're still looking good. Still looking good on this chart. Damn it, HEX. No, it's actually PulseChain, isn't it? Damn it, PulseChain. We're still looking good there. Now let's go further afield to the long-term view now. We're on the weekly here, and the RSI is at 49. We are elevated on the stochastic, so at some stage we'll probably have to have a bit of a breather here, but still looking good on the RSI. And in terms of the weekly chart here, we're looking pretty good. We have topped out, guys. We topped out at 401,044. So we hit that mark over that, what was it? We say that 200-day moving average. We are above the 21 weekly moving average as well, which is at 8,700, 50 is 87. And, our next natural target, guys, is the 1,200, right? It is the 1,200, which is funny enough where the God mode wick went to. It is pretty crazy. So 1,200 is the mark. So, feeling pretty good, assuming we don't have that fourth wave down by October, or wherever the bears think it might land for the 4-year cycle, then, we are looking good for a tackle to the upside here at 1,200. And of course, the first one, let's argue that the 5,400 was the all-time low here, assuming no fourth wave down on the majors. And we get to continue this rally. We've still got room to move, as we just saw. Then hitting 1,200 is definitely plausible here. So that's the next target. Now, that's the first thing on the road. On the horizontal, that was our lower high, right? As we were coming down this mega downtrend for 11 months, I should say. We're trying to get over this 1200. I think that's the clearance area, right? Escape velocity from here. And of course, we want to rally all the way to 1700 after that. Come back, either test this 1200 or the 40s 1000. Obviously, the 1200 will be much more superior there. You know, we do want some people down here that got all these cheaper prices to take profits if they're not looking for bigger X's, you know, or the long-term time frame, you know, maybe 100X or whatever, who knows. But, you know, on the way, we're going to have people exit. We know that much. People that accumulated cheap, obviously, are the ones that are most likely. So, you know, we want to retest. But if we can get a retest there, that'd be not too bad. And let's bring the Fibonacci's. They've been pretty much our friends, haven't they? So, you know, let's do that. And so, you know, we've got, actually, I'm just going to bring the extension because we don't need that. Let's bring the extension and pull that up. And I'm going to take it from here at the moment on our last rise. Oh, let me make sure I get that right. So, yeah, I mean, we got on this particular measure, my one yesterday was a little different, but this one we've got the measure here at the 1.618 would be 1346. Would be a good target here at the moment. Pretty comfortable. A 2.618 would be 1849, which would get us to our second level there at the moment. Not too bad, not too bad. Actually, I'm going to delete that quickly, but that's one way of looking at it. But remember, our 15 moving average is at 1548, which is not too far from 17, and so we're in the ballpark there, right, for our next target. So natural target is 1200 on the horizontal. This would help us get higher highs, right, if we break this, and then we're really clear. So if we can get up to 1700, come back, retest, and zigzag our way out like that blue line there. So far, so good, right? So far, so good. And we've definitely got more room to move as we looked earlier on the shorter time frames. So, yeah, kind of cool. You know, if we can get a bit of a turnaround in the crypto majors as well, we got Bitcoin coming back to 64. We can get a bit of a relief coming into tonight's stock market. That would all bode well too for the upside, right? All that momentum stuff in the right space. We've got lots of activities out on X. Everyone's excited. On YouTube's picking up as well. So, you know, good times, waking up the community quite a bit. And then, you know, once the community wakes up and we get the OGs back, you know, we then get the chance to, we have so many more voices out there, right? And the amplification gets new people on board. It's kind of like that. We've got to get everyone else back. And then, you know, then we amplify our reach and we get even more people out, right? That's kind of cool. So this is our escape velocity. And if we do that, it's my thesis that we will break this downtrend once and for all, and we'll be on the up and up. Now, what that looks like in the future, question mark. This is the base case. And then, of course, we add base plus magic. Magic is the rich at heart. And, of course, Ethereum that is holding is downstream from the ETH rally. And so it's just patience game, right? Just a patience game from here. Yeah, right up for mad gains, tens of X's, hundreds of X's. So let's see where it goes. It's going to be pretty cool. And have HEX do its second thing, right? So this is PulseChain at the moment. Very cool. And that's the thesis there. So far, so good. That's all I can say. And more room to move there. Man, it's exciting to get back to that 40s 1000, I must say. Very, very cool. And onwards and upwards from here. All right, so that is the PulseChain chart. Let's jump into the crypto majors here. Let me just refresh this. Got a bit stuck here. Why is that not disappearing? I don't know why it's not collapsing, but we've got there it goes. 7.8 million right now is total volume. So another good day, guys. Another good day. Everything is going so well. Yeah. We'll turn the volume down, right? It's a bit loud, but on the claps. But you guys are clapping loud. No, just kidding. Oh, yeah, we're at 7.8 million at the moment on the 24 hours. Another great day. We had like 12 million, 11.5 million yesterday. Still pretty good though. 8.8 million. I'm happy with that. As long as we're not down at 2.5 and 3.5 million on our bottom, I'm very happy with these numbers. And 407,000 transactions, not bad. Out of that 4.78, PulseX V2 is doing 6.1. 9MM is doing 885K, so still not too far from that $1 million mark. SwitchX is doing 380. I'd like to see SwitchX and LibertySwap get back over 500,000. That'd be very exciting. But that's still good numbers. SwitchX has flipped LibertySwap today too, which is the funny part. LibertySwap sitting at 272K, and for Vesta, the new kid on the block from OG WebChef kind of ecosystem, at 49K. And of course, they recently got picked up by SwitchX as the DEX aggregator. And of course, they're now showing on DEX screen as well. So two key milestones there for Vesta. Only just launched recently. So exciting times there for the for investor there. Keep a lookout for this one. You know, these guys are up to, they're pretty clever. We'll keep a lookout for that. And then Uniswap there, of course, is sitting at 44K. Boy, that's pretty similar to Investor. Yeah, only 5K difference. And then 9-inch, of course, still got a little bit of volume there from SolidX and stuff at 38K. Not too bad there at the moment. So, we've got kind of the top 7 plus, I guess, PH Universe out there with the balancer fork as well, offering in higher values too. All right, so let's jump into some of the key volumes. So we're looking at 9-inch. The volumes are coming essentially from SolidX. Let's looking at Uniswap. The volume is coming from various, wrapped ETH, USDC, a bit of HEX, apparently, but mostly just a couple of top peers there. For Investor, getting into more serious games now. Most of it from Peacock Ninjas is doing most of the volume there. Liberty Swap, most of the volume is coming from Peacock Wrapped ETH, PDI, Richard Cause, and a bit of Peacock Ninjas as well. That's kind of it. So actually a decent broad range from the old Liberty Swap coming through the old through there. SwitchX at the moment, our V4, right? So Liberty Swap is a V3, Vest is a V3, SwitchX is V4, and of course that V4 has brought us automated liquidity management, which is cool from Brandon. So hats off to him. I always say that, but I really am excited about that. I think it's pretty cool. Volume at the moment is the Richard Hart Cause, Wrapped ETH, and Switch doing most of the volumes there, as you can see. HEX, of course, a key player. 9mm V3 is most of it is Richard Cause. You can see that, and a little bit of Wrapped Bitcoin there. That's pretty much it from 9mm. PulseX, most of the volumes are coming through from Richard Cause, particularly HEX. Atropa's showing up there too, and Peacock as well. So there we are. They're kind of doing Kimpin, and I'll give an honorable mention to Most and ALGO as well coming in there. So usual players, and this is what it is. All right. So overall, let's look at the performance there. So we're doing 7.8 million. Let's look at the top 100. So we get X Game in the mix there from Firewell up 33%. We've got Pump Funds at number 3 is up 18% there, obviously benefiting from Pump Fund. So it's Pump Tires, I should say, benefiting from a Pump Fund doing really well. And of course, one of our top revenue earners in crypto overall is Pump Fund. So Pump Tires getting a bit of pump there. P Tiger from Crypto Toe Guide up 16%. Mafia coin hitting over $3 from Rack and Rochelle. Obviously, let's have a look at that at the moment. So yeah, look at that, up and up and up there. He's launched some new sites, isn't he? Stash, I think it's called. We'll look at that in the monster. But $3, over $3 there. And the high so far looks like $3.13, is it? Let's have a look. Yeah, new all-time high, $3.13 there from Mafia. Let's have a look at the SHIB at the moment, number 6, SHIB Inu meme coin, up over 3 years there, up almost 10%, benefiting from a bit of uplift in memes over the last month. Teddy Bear from James Maria is the meme coin, representing his ecosystem. That's up 6 to 7%. We've got a PTC pair in here up 4%. SolidX at number 14 to 16 is up 3.5%. The ARC, we haven't seen this for a while. It's got a little bit of volume there, up over 11 months. It's up 3%. Phoenix as well. So both of these two small little projects. Phoenix there up 2.5%. What else we got going there? Let's scroll down there. Doubt Token, one of our top meme coins, up 2%. Gophers, our first, what was it, 402? Was it 402? 404 token. That was up there from Dip Catcher. Dip Catcher is working mostly on FlexNext now, I think, on Ethereum for HEX. He's got some upgrades happening over there. What else there? Pulse Bitcoin from Fat Sammy and the crew. The Bitcoin Council up 1.5% at 3.1 cents. And this has actually been a pretty good performer. Pretty low volume today, but it's still ticking away. Pulse Patias at the moment, number 31, our top DEX aggregator at 1%. Vouch, our top public validator at the moment, is up a bit too. So it's starting to roll there. Very low volumes on Vouch, but they've obviously released their referral codes now. So if you do like to refer our biggest public validator, they're a bit like Lido or Rocket Pool. Then Vouch there from Jexa is doing pretty well. Unity from Cryptographics. It's amazing how many well-known personalities are out there. But Unity launched 1.13%. ALGO is up 1% as well. HEX derivative, man, that's been spectacular, isn't it? 8x or something, 8x I think it was. ProveX on the move. I think ProveX could be one. ProveX and PulseX, keep a look out for those two. They might do a bit of an outsized move at some stage at 1%. Doubt token there. Did I talk about that early? Yeah. So we've got Most Wanted, which is one of our top meme coins. Then we've got Doubt as well. It's up just under 1% today. We're coming down to a few lows here. Zero Trust down at number 44, slightly green. We're going to go all the way down here for Investor, $2.45. Obviously, we've got that number fifth DEX there, and they're sitting down here at number 53, just pretty much break even at the moment on the price overnight. Let's scroll down here a little bit further. We're going all the way down. HEX course down here around the 70s now. Just down 1.4%. So it's down around 70. It's only down 1.4%. It's not too bad, is it? HEX holding up pretty well. Let's have a look at HEX. We're going to look at the biggest peer like we did yesterday and go full mode here. So down 1.4% today. But look at this chart. Looking spec. I don't know where I would make this up. I've been hanging out with too many degens. But we're at 0.3 of a penny right now. But look at yesterday, guys, on the daily. We hit 3,379, which is the target I said, right? 1/3 of a penny. So there we are. Beautiful. So have we got room to move? Let's have a look at the 4 hour. Before we do that, though, we peaked out here with that last pipe, a pick up on the 1st of July. We got up to 29/100th of a penny. We had this elevated RSI here on the day before at 89. We called that pretty well. The RSI is lag, so you got to take a little adjustment there. Use shorter time frames as well, but that came down, and we all went down to 57, back up to 73 here right now. I don't think I've got the stochastic on here. Let's bring up that. Not sure if I got that up here, but stochastic RSI. We're still coming up here as well. So I don't know. OMG, HEX looking like it's got a bit of room, firepower. Certainly the sentiments there, the motivation that people come out of the woodwork. So that's only at 71, elevated in the overbought, but still got room to move. Let's look at the 4 hour to see what gas it's got left. Well, we're back down here at 56 on the 4 hour. We're pretty much bouncing at the moment on the I got the 19. It's supposed to be the 21. Let me change that. How'd that get in at 19? Someone come in and manipulate this. I've been hacked. All right, so there we go. We're above the 21. It didn't take too much of a change, but we're on the 21 there, bouncing there. Let's see if we can hold that line at 29.50. We've got plenty of room now, so at 57. The stochastic's all the way down. OMG. HEX, you're a beast. HEX is in beast mode. But this is looking pretty good. Momentum's our friend. Like I say, if we don't get any particular crash going on, any whale on PulseChain or any crash in the crypto majors on our fourth wave, then we're looking pretty good here on the 4 hour. Looking at pretty good. All right, let's go to the daily at the moment. Like I say, we can go hot, right? Can go hot on the RSI. So stochastic looking really good at 44. The weekly, of course, is our friend. We're at 63, so we've still got room to move there at the moment. So yeah, let's go back to the daily quickly. I just want to go back to that. Looking good there. Let's go back to the weekly. The weekly, we've got the target here at 31.19, so it's coming down, and we're above that. So 1/3 of a penny, real strong. Remember, real strong on that. Let's look at the Fibonacci extension again on the weekly here. The RSI's friend. The stochastic is hot on the weekly, so we might run out of steam soon, but still looking good. Let's have a look here on this, and let's see where we might go. So yesterday, this is even better than yesterday because we've got a higher price that I'm using. But 1.618 Fibonacci extension is now over half a penny. Yesterday we were at just under 4,800 of a penny, and now we're at half a penny. So 51/100th of a penny, over half a penny as a target. And so yeah, I think we've got some good room to move. I'd like to see us consolidate at 1/3 of a penny, like where we were peaked out yesterday. We have got obviously room to move on that 4 hour though, and the daily's still got a bit of room to move. The stochastic, it's is what it is, and we've got room in the RSI. So I think 3 out of 4 looking very good, and we're above the moving averages. It's all looking pretty positive there, and of course we get a bit more volume coming in. So maybe 47 to 51/100th of a penny is the next target, but I would like to see some consolidation soon. And if we do retrace, right, maybe we come back down to what I have yesterday. I think 22/100th a penny. What's showing it's 23/100th a penny right now. So I think we've got good support at 23/100th a penny, assuming we don't have a modest pullback. And so I think that's looking pretty good. Otherwise, so that I'm going to say 2200 looking kind of good support there. And of course, a strong move would be 27, 2800, and that's only a little bit down from now, right? 10%. So I still think we're looking pretty good here on the old HEX for a while longer, and then a bit of a retest there. Definitely is in play, right? Someone's going to come down and sell a little bit. So we'll see. It's healthy, right? Healthy to get those little pullbacks. On the 4 hour, you can see, giving an idea here, we've got a couple of red blips here showing that, there's a little bit of profit taking there. No major ones so far, really. Let's see how that goes. And then sometimes they don't always happen in just an hourly, a 4 hour period, right? Like this one here was, 3 days, and those are healthy. To move to the upside. I suspect we've got a little bit room to have another rally up here in the short term. And then we probably need some good consolidation, is my view on there. We'll see how it plays out. So far, so good, right? But of course, we can't always be perfect with prediction, but so far it's played out pretty much on the mark. Pretty happy about that. And of course, HEX is one of our faves, right? It's one of our faves. It was one of the 5 top coins in the last bull market 21. We're expecting exciting things for it moving forward. And of course, maybe even the Magic Carpet ride is going to play out as well with the old Richard Hart. So we should see. All right, that is where we are on the mats at the moment. Let's jump back into the PulseChain numbers here. We're going to go to the, let me get this in the right space here. We're going to keep going down, see what else is down here. UFO's down about 10% right now. Peacock's sitting, that's down. Peacock's down 4.4% at 9,500th of penny. So that definitely got hit overnight. Let's have a look here. We're at 963 pulse, so we're below 1,000 pulse now per Peacock. We haven't had any project launches, and they have been deferred. The project launches, we have had feature updates, which have been great. They are working hard. There's no doubt about that. They're getting the mobile links coming out as well. They've got the app stores all lined up. So everything is just a matter of time here. So we probably will suspect to get a nice little move high here at some stage on the old chart there. So just a little bit of breather. And of course, everyone's chasing down the Richard cores, right? The Pulse, the Pulse HEX, etc. So that's kind of the play right now. All right, let's jump back out of here. So keep a lookout for that. 9mm at the moment is down about 2.4%. We talked about HEX already. And I wanted to have a quick look at Pulse HEX, didn't we? So let's do that. I'm not sure. Let's have a look at the bigger volume ones here. So let's look at the V3. That's probably good enough. And let's have a look at the Pulse HEX chart. So we're going to go to the daily. I've got no RSIs on here, so let's add those in. Bam. And let's do the stochastic as well. Yep, bam. All right. And I've got no averages as well, so let's do some averages. SMA is averages. Oh, let's averages. Let me move away from that, actually. It's got SMA. Is it going to do that? No. It's smooth moving average. Let's do that. All right. So let's go to the, I just want to put the 21 on it. Let's put that on manually. All right, 21. All right, let's go to, what color did I have it? 21, over yellow, I think. No, 50, what did I have on that? What I have on the turquoise, I have the turquoise, don't I? Yeah, and let's do double strength. Double strength. Go down to the cafe, double strength. No, I hate those too much. All right, so this is the daily at the moment. So we're at 50s, 8,800. Yesterday we got up to 9,500 on Pulse HEX. The 21 moving average is at 6,400. AMG, look at that gap, beautiful. RSI looks pretty similar, obviously, to HEX there, 71. Stochastic looking pretty good too on the daily, so pretty similar to the HEX. But let's have a look on the 4 hour there. We are down at 59, and look at the stochastic on the bottom there too. So Pulse HEX looking real good, and on the weekly, let's look at the weekly room. Even better than HEX, right? 56. Stochastic is high though, like HEX, but certainly this is looking pretty good. And on the weekly there, let's get rid of these RSIs and log this as well. But you can see we've got this target here, natural target of 509770 in front of us. So I think that's pretty good too. Just like HEX has got to get that third of a penny again. Here we are looking at 98. So presumably we're going to head over 4 zeros. We've got room to do it. So that's looking good there. Let's have a look at the extensions. We'll do that too. And I'm going to pick it from here and go for gold. And so we've got a natural target there of losing a zero and potentially going to just below 1,300. The 1.681 Fibonacci there at 1293. So we've got a natural target here. We have also got a horizontal, a lower high at 95.50 with the 21 moving average at 97.88. That's 5 zeros. Lose a zero, guys, and we've got a room to move. Probably go to 1293. Don't see any reason why we shouldn't do that. on that move as well for PulseX. Let's look at the pulse ratio from PulseX to Pulse. Still looking pretty good here. Moving high here, not quite at a breakout type of level, but certainly 0.89 pulse per PulseX, almost back to 1-to-1, right? Pretty awesome on that chart. So keep a lookout for that. Could be a nice breakout move moving forward, not necessarily in the next day or two, but certainly in the future. Keep a lookout for that. And let's do an inverse on the chart. And that is at the moment, one pulse will get you 1.218 PulseX, but that's been weakening, right? So look at that, it's been coming down. Pretty cool. What's it been doing since the beginning of the year? Let's have a look at the beginning of the year. What do we got there? Well, let's do last year, for example, December. We were up around 1.56 PulseX per pulse. That's gone down to 1.12. And I'm suspecting this is going to continue to decline, right? To fade down as PulseX does even better. PulseX has also got the buy and burn, right? It really is deflationary, and so that's going to be very exciting to see that play out. Let's go to PulseChain stats quickly. Let's see if we can pick up the buy and burn and check that out too. In fact, we're going to do something a little different today. So let's see where we go here. But let me pull up the PulseX stats. I think that's the one we want to go to. PulseX key metrics here. Let's see. We've got 1.78 trillion burn now, which is really exciting. So that's cool. What's this chart? PulseX TVL history. Expect that to re-rate as well on the TVL history. It's on as we move higher. Let's scroll down here. Daily fees. Daily fees are elevated, so that's cool. We want to see that more buy and burn, arguably. What else? Let's have a look at PulseX transaction count. That's kind of lifting. Global DEX rankings. That's not quite what I'm after. Where the burn metrics are down the bottom here. What do we go to? Oh, sorry. Burn Pulse and BMNR. That's what we're after. So that's cool. Good link there, PulseChain stats. They might not be very communicative as a team, but at least they're got the links there for it as well. So 21 trillion is the user supply. This excludes the OA of 122 trillion. The PulseX burn here, they've got at 2.07 trillion. So that's pretty awesome. So we're about 10%, is it? Yeah, 9.83% of the original amount is gone. So that's pretty bullish. And we've been seeing elevated levels of trading, right? 3x higher. So it's got to be generally pretty good. Yeah, exciting. What else we got going on here? Circulating user supply 19 trillion. So onwards and upwards. First cycle, deal with the first cycle. And the second cycle, that should look dramatically lower. And so, yeah, onwards and upwards there. What do we got there? We got total supply is decreasing, right? So there's less and less PulseX around. This number's a little different, isn't it, than the total number up there? Not sure why. Deleted from the buy and burn 1.78 trillion, 8.42%. Remaining user supply 9.32. So a little different number here. But in any case, it's going down. Pretty cool. What else? Trading fee, buy and burn 1.78 trillion. No expectations burn 31.72 billion. And no expectations locked 264 billion. 1.2%, no expectations wallet. What else? Let's scroll down. What do we got here? I guess it's total supply, right? 8%. Is that what it's saying here? 8.4% burn, excluding OA. Right, so, it's just tracking up, isn't it? I mean, it's the best chart for that. I think this one here is pretty good. So it just shows you it's getting scarcer and scarcer, the old PulseX. That, it doesn't necessarily impact the short-term markets, but certainly over time it has a big play, and particularly, obviously, the LP pools as well. Because, there's quite a lot of PulseX that will be inactive in wallets, and so that's kind of cool. Out of the public holdings, that 19 trillion, and then there's a lot, fair amount locked in LP pools. So it just all gets constrained, a bit more constrained. And when you get the FOMO on, man, it could be good. It could be good times. So looking pretty good there. Feeling pretty positive about PulseX. And as you guys know, PulseX is our number one DEX, right? V2. It's got two versions, V1, V2, plus the stable coins. Taken away. That volume's moving around. That's 6.1 mil. All right, pretty cool. Some good stuff happening there. Let me pull back up the PulseChain stats because I was going to do something here before I closed it down. My bad. PulseChain stats one more time. And that's the markets today, guys. So another good day in the office and with room to move as long as we, nothing calamitous happens with the majors or a whale. And I think we're looking pretty good. in the short term. But we do need a call off, sooner than later, a bit later maybe. Let's have a look here. Let's jump into the where was it going to? The leagues. We go to the leagues, shall we? And a lot of people love the leagues, so I thought we'd cover the leagues quickly. We're up to now 44, so we've got time. And then we're going to get into the news. All right, so we've got Pulse holders here. So if you want to be Pulse holders, let me scroll down there. Token leagues. What's the difference between these holders based on league rankings? So Pulse holders here. Sharks. 42 Sharks holding 15 billion. Dolphins holding is 1.5 billion. Pulse 813. So these are kind of the bigger players, right? The squids are probably pretty common. 7,819, 150 million of those. Turtles there, 15 million, 1,500. I think there's a smaller category, isn't there? I think there's a limit to what I think is it 10,000 wallets. I think is the limit that they can get to. I think that's right. I think they cap off, which is probably why Turtles is not showing higher, right? So if you're wondering why this number's a bit weird, I think that is the case because of some sort of query limitation to 10,000 wallets or something. PulseX is what else? We got 60 PulseX Sharks, 19.6 billion, 918 Dolphins, 2 billion. So it's kind of like I guess the middle upper class, is it? Middle upper class, the Sharks and the Dolphins. And then we've got the Squids, which is pretty big group. 8,700 at 196 million squid, and that's a pretty good bag. I think squid level 150 million Pulse, 196 million squid level. So I think if you're squid, you're probably pretty comfortable. We do get some of these big numbers that people have been talking about with PulseChain, the base plus the magic formula. Then that'd be pretty exciting. And if we get the magic formula, even the turtles with 15 million could end up being quite good. But certainly at the very minimum, if you want guaranteed, probably the dolphin level. If you want to have a good chance, then squid, particularly the upper level of squid, and you might be doing pretty well there. People ask that question all the time. So it really, if we get the base case, it's going to be great. If we get the magic case with the Richard Hart and the ETH downstream, then that's a magic ride, right? So that's particularly big X's there. So not everyone holds those views, so just take note of that with the magic, but the base is looking great on PulseChain. Base case that is. HEX at the moment, what have we got there? 56 Sharks, 70 million. Dolphins there, 7 million at 840. So 840 there. That's kind of, like I say, middle upper class. And then the squids there is kind of the main group, 7,000. The turtles are I think undernumbered here because they're probably much bigger than 7,000. But they're, I think there's a 10,000 wallet limit here. Seems to be the case on all of them, right? Ink here, Sharks, 85 ink holders. And at 1,274 Dolphins. I'm not a big fan of ink, but it is tied into liquidity, has got some whales holding it. But there's really, outside DeFi use cases, not a lot of support there anymore. Inflation is fixed, so that's a pumpamental. But, there's really no utility directly to it anymore, but, it's still going to do well. Squids there, 6,153. You need 555 ink for that or more. So it just gives you some sort of benchmark about, what your competition is in the place. ProveX, of course, relatively new. And that is, what do we got there? 144 holding 320 million. There are a few big freeholders, right? So, in there as well. What was the guy's name that ran the sacrifice? I've just forgotten his name off the top of my head. So they're holding pretty big bags. So just don't know there. There are a few fees. They're very pro ProveX, and no doubt, why wouldn't you be? Dolphin there is 32 million. 951 as well, holders of that. So that's kind of your middle upper class. Squid, there is 3.2 million to be a squid, and that's 3,162. And then turtles is a bigger number as well, but it's probably much bigger than that. Or maybe it's not. Maybe this is 3,086 on this particular category. The number of sacrifices, have to go double check that, but probably is. All right, so if you want to check that out on leagues, you can go do that. Then they got what they got standard totally. Yeah, if you want to look at the US dollar values, it gives you that down on the bottom table here. They're on PulseChain stats, so pretty useful, right? If you like that sort of stuff, a lot of people like to benchmark themselves. Or they want to become dolphins or something, or sharks even. All right, so that is the play. What else we got to say about that? Obviously, with the price pump and everything, then these leagues have got more expensive. Just take note, and they will get way more expensive if we get more X's, right? So take that into account. All right, so that is pretty much it with the leagues. We've still got 11 minutes, which means you guys know what we're going to do. We're going to look at the news. Guys. So let's go to kick it off. And we've got 11 minutes to talk about the monster thread. Should we do that? I think we are. Not normally I'll do the teams, but we'll just do the monster thread because that is an official publication of the Kryptonite Show. MVS Crypto is the editor-in-chief out there doing a great job. He's also the promotional lead for the Kryptonite Show. So yeah, we have a great time together doing all this stuff. And we've got the monster thread number 66 out, guys. So if you guys haven't followed MVS Crypto, give him a follow. Honestly, he deserves it. He deserves it. So monster thread number 66. What was order 66? Is that Star Wars? Star Wars there. Now, this is perfect for onboarding. If you're busy during the week, it's a great read. You'll catch up on everything pretty much. We survey the whole community. We have a system set up for all that every week, and so we know what's going on. We know who's doing what, and we love to publicize what everyone's doing. It's kind of cool. The whole community stays informed. It gets about 35 to 50,000 views a week. So it's a number one newsletter publication by far. It's dynamic. In other words, it's going out actively to everybody. It's not sitting just on a website, for example. So it is a mega awesome. And 66 weeks now, guys. 66 weeks. So the Kryptonite Show streaming for over 6 years through the bear market and bull market on the daily basis with very few days off. And the monster thread now going for 66 weeks with the hottest PulseChain news. It's awesome stuff, right? We love sharing the journey. It is pretty cool and playing our part. All right, so check that out and share it around. Great onboarding tool. People can get to know all the key players, all the activities that are happening, some of the hottest DeFi too. So get out there, folks. So here we are, monster number 66. Richard's take, PulseChain on ESPN, Norway Drift Champions, and more monster moves. Very cool. So let's check it out. Richard Hart, of course, the founder of PulseChain, always is the first story, and of course, always a tribute to him. And here, Richard Hart explained how certain block Bitcoin hacks can be bullish when coins stay locked rather than dumped, and why Trump's executive order 14233 protects instant holders. It's very like Star Wars, isn't it? So that's from Richard, so you can check that out. That was a very popular post from him with the old diamond hands at the bottom there. He's got a TLDR in there as well, so he likes doing those. PulseChain on ESPN, how about that, eh? We had BBC last week in the monster thread, and now we've got the ESPN. So we're getting on some decent media platforms, or traditional media platforms, let's say, with the old sports. I am Roots, of course. I am Roots. Roots, yeah. He's got 15,600 followers on X. He's one of our biggest, obviously, influencers there. He's shared a bare knuckle Ice Wars sponsored on PulseChain on ESPN2, ESPN8, OCO, reaching over 1.1 million views, guys. So that's really cool. Now, some of the guys there got PulseChain jackets on these ice fights. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of where we get that sponsorship too. And then 22,000 likes so far. So really great sort of broad brand awareness, let's say, for PulseChain. So it's kind of cool. And this is of significance, right? So very cool stuff happening here. And you can check out all the videos. Let's have a little look at this video. I won't play the audio because it's probably got some stuff on it, but it's a new sport, of course, boxing. So if you don't like violence, but that is pretty awesome. So it got picked up by ESPN. So it's a new sport and they're loving it. They're on basically, was it ice skates things on the boxing round, and there's a lot of fighting. This is just, I don't know if this is real. Is that real? It's animation, I don't know, but it looks like AI. But yeah, it's pretty fun stuff. And yeah, so cool stuff happening there on the old stuff. You want to follow that up, check it out. Norway Drift, so we got bare knuckle boxing on ice, but we've also got Norway Drift Champions. So if you love your cars, highlighted Joachim Horgens from the team Kenda, winning the first place at the Gatebill Super 3 with his HEX Toyota GT86 at Rodskogen Motor Center in Rakkestad, Norway. There we go. She's got Suzanne here, one of our PulseChain female influencers, pointing us out. But look at the car, man. Is it badass or what? Awesome stuff with the HEX stuff there. So, HEX is far more places than you think, isn't it? And we've been seeing a lot of that in the monster thread lately. And of course, got the car driving there. Look at that. Some skills on there. Look, the HEX car's in front. Can you see? There it is in the front there. That's pretty cool, right? Pretty crazy stuff there. So that's the old drifting, isn't it? The old drifting there. Some nice stuff there. Some more videos too below. Check it all out. But pretty cool. Lots of cool stuff happening here. So, but HEX is doing all sorts of things. 30 days going up. Well, obviously, we've been having a great run on PulseChain. Oh, your friend Somni, one of our top influencers as well. He's got 42,700 followers on X, does a lot on YouTube as well. He crunched the numbers. This was on the monthly average. Obviously, we're much higher now. But Pulse was up 60% for, I think it was July, these numbers are. I'm not quite sure the date, but we'll double check. HEX 250%, PulseX 80%, and Inc 60%. HEX alone is up through 100% in 30 days. Of course, it's done even more than that now. But those were the stats there. What day was that? The 9th of August. So that was 2 days ago on a 30-day, I guess, rolling, 30-day rolling there. Pretty awesome stuff there. So that was from Somi. Big shout out. All right. So Feel the Burn. Real Matty Crypto highlighted that almost 10% of PulseX has been burned forever. We just saw that too on the PulseChain stats. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, nice stuff there. And that was under Pulse Alerts. So kind of cool. 10% a burn. So that's pretty much on the money now. Liberty Yield. Now, obviously, Liberty Swap here with the buy and burn over $40,000 or almost $40,000 on real yield has been redistributed to the community and used to buy back Peacock and Burn through Liberty Pool. So some pretty significant cash there. And that's just based on, 3 or 4 businesses running at the moment. And we're expecting them to ramp up to like 10 or 11 businesses, and some of them are pretty big. So this is just the beginning for them. Pretty awesome. So they had a good update there. You can check that all out. And you can see the 39.8K there on the fees so far. Pretty awesome. What's that? 8K going to protocol fees. Just for the one product, the Liberty Pools, the V3 DEX. Yield Pulse Management, True DeFi. Now, True DeFi is absolutely crushing it out there, doing a managed funds approach to crypto. So they went live with Neil and Executioner, 2 guys in the teams, along with Daniel probably, introducing an amazing user experience and architecture built around DeFi, Pulse DeFi yield management. Now, I understand these guys have got a new interface right now. So they've had a new update on their website. So that's pretty exciting. And they've got a stream here.
Here now.
This is Neil on the top left here and Executioner below. They're going through the new interface for this managed funds approach. And of course, it's arguably our first investment vehicle as well. They have this SRE vehicle that invests in top DeFi on PulseChain. They've recently expanded to farming on PulseChain, and then through True Farm, and then of course expanded to BNB chain as well. So bringing in that omni-chain approach, in other words, earning fees on other chains and bringing it back to PulseChain for their direct benefits. So awesome stuff happening for these guys, and now they've got a whole new user interface. Looks very sharp indeed. So hopefully we'll get the team on at some stage. So if you're listening out there, guys, hit me up for a live stream. It's time. All right, so kind of cool. What else there? We've got tablets floor flooding Canada. PulseChain tablets, promo tablets still out there doing the thing. RS Griffin is the nonprofit running it out of the United States and going global. Is looking for Canadian hub partners to receive, store, and distribute 40,000 PulseChain project promo tablets across the British Columbia, Ontario, Quebec, and Alberta there. So PulseChain tablets there. Is that what I said? PulseChain tablets there. Is expanding. So yeah, going global for sure. It's exciting. So what have we had? Something like 400,000 tablets go out so far, and they're heading towards millions potentially. And they've expanded from the US, all 50 states they're trying to get over. They're doing a great progress on that. They're going to UK, Canada. We've seen it in Italy. We've seen it, I think, in Africa. I mean, it's all getting out there, guys. So great work from the guys, and they've got a big call out. So if you can help with that, if you're in Canada, hit it up. And if you like my joke around Canada, then let me know. I won't tell you what I said in the the CNN Tower in Toronto. I was surprised I got away with it. I was pretty young and fit, so could have probably handled 10, 20 people, but still it was challenging stuff. All right, jokes aside, let's move forward. Portfolio tracker updates. PulseChain stats added Liberty Swap V3, LPX holding PNL, and 24-hour token changes. So obviously PulseChain stats, one of our top information sites there, expanding their portfolio tracker. So a big shout out to them. Always adding more features and making life, look at that, so easy. Look at that, all the support. My goodness, it's not just about nothing you won't be able to track on this thing, right? So pretty good stuff there with the portfolio updates. We have some really good portfolio trackers these days. We used to not have so, but now we got PulseChain stats, PLS portfolio. There's many others out there that you can track as well. Maybe we should do a show on that. That sounds like a good show. I haven't really done a show on that for ages. Monterey Car Week. More cars, guys. Triple Dad. He's out there. Look at this. Stogie King. Stogie King out there. He's got his little promo pad with the Car Week, and he's at the Car Week. So big shout out to him. He's having a good time. Heading to Monterey while smoking, and Alex Bradley Magic Toast. It's Car Week, yo. Going to give some tablets away. So awesome stuff there. I'm sure that was popular there from Triple Dad. Of course, he's about to launch VersaVault, our 6th liquidity fork on PulseChain. It's kind of cool. July HEX report. One of our two quants, Ben Sierra, released the July HEX report showing the summer surge, recording 3,200 new stakes, the highest month for the year so far. You know, as HEX goes up, more people were wanting to pick that up. And of course, we also got the actuator bond, right, which helps to liquidate some of those HEX stakes and give you more yield potentially. That's also been popular too. And we see Crispy Man, pushing that. Ben Sierra, the last start of July here, we can see the chart speaks for itself. 3,200 extra stakes there, so on the up and up there. That's on the PulseChain and the ETH. So HEX is up to 454. So onwards and upwards there. Getting a resurgence with the price and resurgence there with the validators, with the validator X and sorry, what did I say? No, what's it called? I just said the actuator. Sorry, my bad. And of course the price up. So everything's kind of good. Positive flywheel. Around the clock, Ching Ching Pulse. I launched a free PulseChain themed 3D browser game. So if you love your games, with the first 4 levels ready to play. So let's have a quick look at this. I think we've got some little snapshots here. Look at that. That's all game. Isn't that cool? People like that around the world. So you can go, I think, hit the pulse little beads there, play the game. So a little bit of everything around. Not bad. Ching Ching Arcade live now. Travel the world collecting tokens. Fast, fun, and build in 3D. Free in your browser. So there we go. Not too bad. And you can hit the link there to check that out. But awesome stuff. Awesome. Awesome. We love gaming. All right, so kind of cool. Well, that is from Ching Ching. And trending on PulseChain, I did a show, of course, on the updated, on the latest projects launching. So you can check that out if you want to do. New projects dropping on PulseChain, all these cool ones launched. But look at what we've got. V3 DEX, DEX Aggregator, DEX and Launchpad, Block Explorer, NFTs, Liquidity Fork stablecoin, DeFi reflection projects, DEX Aggregator, another wallet, Liquidity Fork coming up with VersaVault, Liberty on-ramp, off-ramp, and wallet swap, Pump for Fun, Launchpad, Liberty End. I mean, they've got so much stuff coming, awesome stuff. And that's all showcased in Frank White's PulseChain ecosystem map, which is mega huge, and that's PulseChain. So isn't it great to have everything so organized? PulseChain is pretty organized these days, right? We're really getting into that maturity phase, and it's exciting. It's exciting. All right, so that's some cool stuff happening there. I'm going to get into the rest of the news there. I've got a couple of comments in the chat there I'll get to. Germany Market Hub. Crypto Toby started a PulseChain Market Hub in Germany. More PulseChain expansion with the promo pads there. Look at that, a bench full of that. There's a lot of people out there willing to do the work and support the community growth. Isn't that cool? So nice stuff happening there. Hex is king. Max Kane dropped a viral video explaining why Hex is the king of crypto. So a big shout out to Max Payne. He's really been stepping up. 34,000 views on that guy. Why Hex is the best. Getting a lot of support from OGs out there, spreading the word on that. So big shout out to Max Kane. Give out the great work. What else we got going? The trenches are back. Cabal King, the great ox there, released a new launchpad with creator fees and tax token support. A trade on Trench. So if you want to check out that launchpad, it's pretty exciting. A really good launchpad actually. Trench Dex Exchange. You can check out all the details there on that. Not bad. We've got cool stuff there. We'll have a quick look at it, shall we, while we're here? How are we doing for time? 2 hours and 2 minutes. We've gone over time. Oh, well, we're going for a mega long live stream now. It's just the way it goes. There's so much happening. So that's the site there. Pretty good, eh? Pretty good. Lots of things happening on there. Let's go to the launch. You can launch tokens, guys. You can do all sorts of stuff on here. Beautiful site there from Cabal King. And what else? Yeah, lots of cool stuff. What do you create the token there? Create a new token. Bam! Let's hit that mark there. Look at that. Create token. You can either do I think a normal bonding curve or no bonding curve. Yeah, bonding curve, no bonding curve. A bit of everything in there. Pretty cool. That's from Cabal King. Did you guys know that was even out there? Well, you do now. That's pretty cool. So nice stuff happening there. All right, so let's jump down here. We've got the Australian DeFi Meetup. So Coexistence 7, another PulseChain influencer out there, announced the Australian DeFi Community Sydney Meetup. They've been doing many months of these now, and apparently tickets are live for the next one. So if you want to catch up with that, go do it. What day is it? Got the day there? I think it's pretty soon, is it? Not sure what day it is. What day is that on there? Just trying to find it. Yeah, I don't see the day on there. Oh, you might have to hit them up for the day. I'm not sure. Maybe go to the booking side itself. Might have the day on there. Anyway, PulseChain activity is rising overall. I think people know that. It's getting very excited. We've got Annabelle out there. She's got 35,000 viewers. She's going to come into the PulseChain commentary section there. Published another article showcasing the rise of activity in PulseChain. So you're getting some good support there from Annabelle, and onwards and upwards there, right? So PulseChain, great little report there. You can go check all the details there. Reaching a big new audience too, right? She's got a good following. It's getting 4,300 views so far. So all adds up, right? All adds up to the bump mentals there. So that was all the news stories. I think there were 18 stories there for this week. We also had some honorable mentions. My Mindset, PulseChain Portrait, 457,000 Instagram views, probably much higher than that now. And that's on the PulseChain Portrait. So you can see it down the bottom here, looking good there. And of course, that's Mo Mindset's art. He's an artist in our community, does some very good proactive outreach with PulseChain using his art as well. Yeah, pretty awesome. So well done to him. All adds up, right? All attracts new people to PulseChain. Vexkin Hexkin shared the secret about PulseChain. So if you want to learn the secret about PulseChain, check out Vexian. Vexkin also rising ex-influencer on PulseChain as well, doing a great job there too. So and he says the community is the asset in crypto. Absolutely, it is. Agree with that. 250 Smurf, Taylor Kennedy. Why when HEX goes up, ALGO goes up a lot too. And of course, we saw ALGO do an 8x, right? So pretty crazy. So if you want to get some secret sauce there, check it out. There we go. It's got a little bit of upside about that. All right. What else there? Sandy Beach. Sandy Beach is an amazing PulseChain female influencer. Also one of our moderators in our Discord. She does a lot of health and safety inspirations. And she just celebrated hitting 5K followers. So congratulations to her. Big shout out there. Huge congrats. You deserve it. You deserve it. And I put a little star, right? Because, females love the stars, right? Hey, look, this is the way it is. The blam. There we go. Huge congrats. You deserve it. How about that? All right, so there we go. Let's go to Noob's Decentral. Seeking partners for Noob 27 mega event. So another event coming up from Noob Decentralized. Remember they did that big show in South America somewhere. I forgot the name. Was it Paraguay? Paraguay, somewhere like that. It was pretty awesome, and it looks like they're doing another stream or another show. So it's kind of cool. So definitely catch up with them on that. What else have we got there? Seeking partners. Do you do streaming, spaces, anchor, co-host, trader, builder, organizer? So it looks like they're doing a big show, probably on PulseChain, and looks like covering the whole sort of ecosystem really. So that's coming up. Now the DeFi scoop, guys, VersaVault, their alpha white paper is released. So this is from Triple Dad. That is our 6th liquidity fork going to be launching. So new yield, new stablecoin, new stablecoin mechanism. So it's going to be pretty exciting. So alpha there, that's come out. Page 2, True DeFi. Obviously our managed approach to DeFi on PulseChain doing an amazing job. They also lead the DeFi spaces on X. 1,000 more true 2x miners reach 2x pulse. So the whole idea of these miners is to double your pulse. So you go into the auction and you put those shares to work that you get in the auction, and you just bide your time as they go and invest and increase that yield, right? And therefore return you back a 2x in pulse miner. They've had another 1,000 miners get to the 2x. So doing the job. SwitchX there, of course, multi-chain DEX aggregator, one of our top DEX aggregators, doing it spectacular. And now I would say one of our top 5 blue chip DeFi builders. We're looking forward to a lot of cool stuff from Brandon over the years to come, including tokenization. Radon X there, one of our hottest, latest DeFis there, projects, impressive Radon X platform growth. This is from Crypto Bro, one of our popular DeFi entrepreneurs on the chain, just like Cabal King, kind of in that category. So it's pretty cool from Radon X. And then Crypto Night Show, of course. There was so much news like last week because everything's just ramping up that we have to flow it over into the Crypto Night Show. So we've got a lot of project updates from small, medium enterprises, some large ones as well. So that's pretty cool on that. But look at our photos this week, man. I mean, kind of cool. HEX cars, sports cars, looking good. We're on ESPN now, getting some free promos with PulseChain branding. We got influencers that are generally coming in from the outside into the PulseChain, writing up regularly about PulseChain now, which is pretty cool. The activity is definitely rising. And there's Triple Dad there off to the car show with a stogie and a promo pad. You can't do much better than that. Pretty awesome. So some good stuff happening there. Looks like we've got a big TV show coming up from New Decentral again, a second one. And of course, VersaVault is coming soon, guys. The white paper is out. So if you want to read about that, the new stablecoin will be VSD. This will be our 6th liquidity fork coming out. It's going to be interest-free borrowing again. Some of the highlights from the white paper are listed there, including 0% recurring interest. There is a one-time fee, 0.5% to 5%. Just generally on the low side there. Full crypto-backed BSD stablecoin, isolated markets as well. Redemption at $1, so a lot of similar liquidity setups there. They will have a reflection token in the system, so it's slightly different. So that's going to help with the peg. No interest, no shared risk across collaterals. So looking exciting there. This could be some real big opportunities for people to get in early. VersaVault and Triple Dad, give them a follow, as well as jump into the Telegram there and get the white paper in the Telegram group. Always use official links, remember. And then you got the VersaVault there as well, website with docs out. But it is launching soon. That is the white paper there, front of the white paper. That's what it looks like. I added it in the picture there, but otherwise it's pretty much it. All right, so let's go to the MVS number 3, page 3. True DeFi doesn't wait for demand. We build ahead of it. So True DeFi is growing. This is our managed fund approach DeFi, run by Neil, Daniel, and Execution in the mix. True DeFi is growing, expanding. Another 1,000 True 2x miners just matured their 2x Pulse architecture built around a PLS DeFi yield management system, of course, with the RSE investment fund, designed for every expansion ahead. So not only do they have the investment fund, but also expanding into DeFi farms, and they're rolling out on multi-chain, so it's looking real good. Your Pulse isn't going to 2x itself, they say, and you can check it out on their website there. True 2x multiverse.truedefi is the new website, so they've obviously relaunched the new website with the new UI UX experience. So that's pretty cool. Let's have a quick look at it, shall we? Bam, this is the first time I've looked at it, I think. We saw it on the preview, but the first time there. So look at that. That's real clean now. That is way better. Yeah, that's way better. So kind of cool. Look at that. We've got to get these guys on the show. Got to get these guys on the show. There's the miners, guys. That's all the stats. We've got the partners as well, and then institutionals. So kind of cool. All right, so we've got to get them on and have a walk through that. That looks pretty badass. I love the idea of investment management, and some people, like that they're not great at DeFi. Maybe it's a solution for them. Now we've got SwitchX appreciates its partners, so this is obviously one of our largest DEX aggregators now. It is super good, man. I've used it myself. I've seen a lot of good reviews. It is really, really slick. Markets are picking up, of course. SwitchX DEX aggregator supports success. You got limit orders, you got tax token detection. You're not having to worry about slippage and everything else. 21 liquidity sources on, I think, 4 chains now, and a partner program for builders. So you can, if you've got a website, you can actually put this on your website and clip a bit of fees on the way. All right, so that could be pretty good. Smooth UI, it's super smooth. It just works. It does indeed. So Switch is your gateway to take advantage of these market opportunities. So obviously, with the market picking up, it's really good. You get better, efficient swapping. It's really good like that. With access to millions of crypto assets across leading decentralized exchanges. It's got Base Chain, Ethereum, PulseChain, and now Robinhood. So you got all the hot chains there running. Switch brings cutting-edge technology and deep liquidity pools, and they are fantastic. SwitchX had recently added Finvestor V3 DEX, which we see as the number 5 DEX now from Finvestor. Brandon said, we appreciate our partners, and therefore they've set up a 50% fee split as well. So it may be something for you to consider. And of course, you spread more places people can buy and sell PulseChain, the better. If you've got your website and other applications like that, or you're doing applications, you can put it in there too. So switch to Switch, guys. They also got the hot tokens at the moment, so pretty awesome. Check that out. That's a pretty awesome list there from Brandon. And then we've also got Radon X, one of our hot DeFis running at the moment. The next generation DeFi and PulseChain, field auctions, high yield farming, staking, 3-day lotteries. So they've got quite a few features there. All rewards are in DAI, community powered, no VCs. The 21-day fair launch crushed it. Now just finished, right? So they're on what they call perpetual auctions now. Billions in Pulse deposited, massive auction units processed, strong TV unstaked. The token is Radix, of course, a RADX. Powerful correlation. So not only have they had good growth, but they've now got these powerful collaborations set up with Emmett Farm, arguably the top farm on PulseChain, ZKP Pulse there with earning true DeFi. Sorry, was it earning what is that? What I've just forgotten. ZKP there. What are they earning? Provex, that's it. I don't know why that skipped my mind. Gears, of course, a recent DeFi launch there from let me remember you. The Function Island guy. I'm having a blank there now. Function Island guy, just forgotten right now at the moment. True Farm there. True, obviously, we just talked about them with Neil and Daniel. RhinoFi there from Rhino. We love Rhino team. They're great. RhinoFi there. Pretty cool. New farm pools live with sky high APRs, liquidity deepening, ecosystem expanding, bid, stake, farm, earn, and repeat. So pretty easy setup there on Radon there, and the Forge is better there. So you've got socials, you can join up to that as well. And there's some of the key metrics in this infographic here around the growth and the partnerships. So pretty awesome there. That's day 9 of the perpetual auctions. So the first 21 days, and then they get perpetual auctions after that. Many of you will be familiar with that kind of setup. And then finally, we had so much news in the Monster thread this week, guys. We had to keep going. And project updates and shout outs in the TK. This is the TKS post, the Crypto Night Show post at the end. We had so much news. Look at us. We've got internet money. They did some crypto education posts around privacy, which was a big shout out to them. Our number 1 wallet. Hexfire highlighted actuator. So this is this Hex bond type thing on Hex. Probably helped to increase the Hex stakes along with the price of Hex at the moment. Document for Hex whales to review HTT liquidity strategies on major nodes. So that was from Hexfire. We got Haunted, good old Haunted. Do you remember him from Liquid Loans and Strategy? Obviously running our second largest public validator X with UpToken and the PlusX ecosystem. Is quite a decent size ecosystem there. Our second biggest, largest public validator. LPX just crossed 20 million volume and $130,000 in trades. 130,000 numbers of trades. So really growth there with LPX. Pretty awesome. Rackham Michelle, our big VC guy with the Crypto Mafia with that launch pad, has now released another protocol called Stash. It's a brand new tracker that shows your full Hex position, stakes, HSI, Maximus farms, and liquidity. So that's launched there from Rackham. Go check that out. What else we got going? Liquid Loans attended the Malaysia blockchain week as well, doing some pretty awesome stuff. So we're going to show these pictures actually. This is some of the pictures from Crypto Crazy. This is from Liquid Loans, our largest liquidity fork, right? And third largest Sacrifice. And then you can see him out there. He does a lot of these conferences out there. It looks pretty cool, right? It's great to see, I guess Liquid Loans and arguably PulseChain being showcased there. Pretty cool. For Investor, of course, the V3 DEX, our 5th biggest DEX. We've got another DEX in the house. Pretty cool, V3. And of course, already secured Batias routing. So you got Batias. And now I've got obviously SwitchX as well, and also showing up on DEX Screener. Now ranked number 5, actually. Kind of cool. Yuri there shared SCADA metrics. Obviously, SCADA is one of our more innovative teams with Nuke Supply, doing an amazing job. They're a pretty tight community, really great innovative tokenomics, and they're showcasing a 69% of supply burn. 69%, guys. So these guys really pushing the pressure on the price there. SCADA on the up and up. So definitely one to watch is that team. Pretty cool. We also got Vouch, our top validator, just launched their referral system. So if you want to get referrals, you can do that. The SDK and widget for easy Pulse staking integration as well in the app. So really good for developers, websites, etc. And you can hit up on that now with Vouch. Kind of cool. We've got Dipcatcher here to Tony Nanomi. As he's running his FlexX owner unit reward distribution update. Now, this is kind of like a second layer protocol on Hex over on Ethereum. And of course, Dipcatcher has been a major developer during the bear market on PulseChain, particularly for around Hex and the Hex derivatives like Maximus, along with another influencer, good Coldkey, which we haven't seen around for a while. Trayvon, of course, a large PulseChain influencer and a general influencer. He is got 51,600 followers there, runs his More Tokens platform, and staking now live on More Tokens. So you can stake PulseX. He's expanded the using Richard Cores on his application there for more. So it's pretty cool. Villa Nicholas there released mission control for the PulseChain community. Kind of cool. I'm not actually sure what that one's about. Don't remember actually. Wallet balance is not a portfolio, LP positions. So kind of cool. You can go check that out. Time locked assets, claimable rewards. Not bad. That's some Villa Nick there. Not bad. What else there? PulseChain Daily News showcased a list of successful farming and staking platforms. This is brand new, as I understand it, from Kairos. So a whole ton of yield being highlighted on all these DeFi platforms on PulseChain. So it could be a good place to follow there for that. So pretty cool. That's from Emmett Farms and Kairos. What else there? We've got Susie Q, another popular female influencer on PulseChain. Shared pictures of a fun day sharing Hex and Richard Hart. So let's have a quick look at that, Susie. And there's Susie there on the left. and having a good time out in the town. So it's kind of cool. Look at the stickers going everywhere. We got the stickers. Oh, we haven't got Richard Ayers Stakes. That's pretty hilarious. So it looks like some nice little town there with a nice little boardwalk. Kind of cool. So big one, awesome happening there. And finally, we got Rocks. So second to last, let's say Rocks is PLX shirt, PLSX shirt, and he's rocking this. Look at that. Pretty cool. So get yourself some merch, guys. PulseChain merch, looking pretty good. Smash the likes on that too. What else? We got one more, I think, to go. Crypto Incognito continue his PulseChain marketing tablets distribution in Copenhagen, Denmark. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, so more people obviously giving out their giving out those images. Sorry, giving out the promo pads in Denmark there too. We've got a lot of communities to watch on the watch list there. The Kryptonite Show, of course, doing daily shows, but some more great photos here to wrap up the monster thread. And look at that, Crypto Crazy amongst all that conference people, really is cool. And we got the diehards with the shirts looking good there too. So pretty cool stuff, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Big shout out to Montoya there from Internet Money, doing some crypto wallet education and stuff, security stuff. Pretty cool. So that is the monster thread, guys. That's the hottest news in the last week. So definitely share it out as well, worth doing. We're up to 2 hours 20 minutes. I guess we've got 10 more minutes in the play before we have to pass out or something like that. But jokes aside, let's check out some of the questions here. I don't know which format should we do. Should we do that? Let's see. It's okay. Are you guys still bullish on Titanx and OmniChain to PulseChain? I am still bullish on Titanx for sure. It's just the timing. Got to get timing right on that. Arguably, he is probably waiting for the ETH price to run. It's still got all that ETH in there, right? So, it's still got its pumpamentals, and I know people are accumulating around the bottoms around here, arguably. So, yeah, that's still in play. I know we haven't covered it too much, but still, watching that from time to time. OmniChain to PulseChain. Well, there are a few applications of that where that's being bridged in. So that's certainly a play. The Dude, of course, is a key player amongst some of that. There's the other guy that does the other big protocol too. Forgotten his name. So there has been quite a bit bridged into PulseChain. We think this will be a bonding leverage cycle. Hart's Law. Yeah. Yep. Sort of on the same table there. Tombus as well. I like Taurus on ETH Titanx and Unity on Pulse. Some ideas as Taurus. Yep. Well, that's all from cryptographics. We haven't really seen it run yet. They've still got about 50K on PulseChain, I think, for the buy and burn LP support. We'll keep a lookout for that. They were going to do collaborative staking. Haven't really seen much on that, but cryptographics is amazing, so we'll keep a lookout for that too. But I feel like there are so many devs who made coins on Titanx and do nothing but sell Titanx. Well, there's probably a bit of that too, because Jake's not around, is he? He's there, he's around, but not around. He's sitting in the shade. But yeah, they still got that. Now there is an issue with the buy and burn. I just can't remember what it was. I might have to go back and refresh myself. But certainly that's a lot of ETH sitting. Was it 4,000 ETH sitting in there? So yeah, they can pump that. So yeah, some people are DCAing, I think. Certainly worth a look. We'll try and bring it up again and have a look at those charts. Mike Dean's still around, isn't he, doing the stuff as well? And I know the Dude's just recently launched a new project, which we probably might end up talking about on this channel too. So there's a little bit of Titanx stuff out there. Might make it hard to run. All right, insight in the house there. Yes, we have a very large Taurus Euros. Yeah, Euros is the one. Yeah, is the one I was thinking of. And also a large Unity Eros liquidity. Yeah, so Eros is the one, the bridging one over. Yeah, bonding. Yeah, I think you've just changed your name on your title maybe. But Eros there, you got that on the end of your name. Yeah, so Eros and the Dude stuff is both bridged and stuff that could do quite well. Has a YouTube site on that. Yeah, go check it out on Eros. Definitely worth doing. Wait, I'm blocked already. I think that's why do low views. Mod blocks, so no one comments here. Advise unblock your past and your channel stays small. Yeah, well, it's tough on YouTube sometimes. It's also tough on X sometimes as well. But keep doing your thing and reaching out. All right, we got Lou in the house there. Hi everybody. Hey, great to see you, Lou. Welcome to the chat as well. A big shout out. Always a pleasure. Okay, we've got 7 minutes, so let's keep going. We're going to go look at our biggest developer at the moment, which is Liberty Swap. Obviously delayed and realigned some of their roadmaps, but I did have an update here that I wanted to talk about earlier. Is this the one I was looking at? No, not that one. All right, let's scroll down a bit. We will look at that one, but there's another one I want to look at from Liberty Swap. Let's scroll down. Where did it go? Is this the one? No, not that one. Let's scroll down a bit further. Scrolling. Let's keep going. There's one particular post they did that was a bit of an update. So let's keep going. You guys getting dizzy? I'm getting dizzy, a little bit dizzy here. Let me see. Where is it? Come on, guys. This is the last 24 hours. We're already back. The last 24 hours. I can't actually find it. Where is it? Oh, sorry, guys. It's not there. I'll try and pick it up tomorrow because I can't find it here at the moment on their updates. But they've got a number of products coming down, in August. So hopefully they'll drop soon. And that will increase all their fee buying power, right? All their fee buying power. I think they're close to 5 million now. They've been bought and burned. So it's what we say, 40K. So that is definitely ticking away. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. If you guys haven't downloaded the ZKX wallet, definitely check that out. All right, so I think we're going to finish there, guys. I think that's pretty much it for the show. We've got a huge audience watching right now, so I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And yeah, let's see how things go for tonight as the market. We're only 4 hours away from pre-market, I think. And there's a stock market, of course, and then also another, was it 11 hours? No, 10 hours. 10 hours away, maybe approximately, from regular markets opening up. And so let's see what happens to all the preferred stock stuff and how that flows on into the rest of the market. We'll keep a lookout for that. And we might just quickly check on the crypto markets right now. CoinGecko, we're sitting at 64. So we've got a little bit higher during the live stream, another $80. And Ethereum's up a little bit as well. Just little moves, but all positive moving into the launch, the opening of the regular markets tonight. So check that out. All right, I think we're going to finish there. We do have a lot of projects launching this month, so we'll be talking about all those when they do launch. If you are loving the content, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. We're streaming on 3 YouTube channels: Superman Crypto, PulseChain X, and the Crypto Night Show. And that's a pretty large subscriber base, so definitely smash the follow there, and let's grow. Let's keep growing. We're ramping up the number of videos, clips as well, so we'll be breaking out those HEX and PulseChain clips out, posting those today, and maybe the PulseX one too. So keep looking forward to those short clips if you can't watch the whole long show. And of course on X, don't forget to smash the follow up there too. We have started to really ratchet up the followers there. We just passed 1,700 and climbing towards 1,800 pretty quick. So smash the follow there and repost the show as well. Repost the show every day. The Crypto Night Show is the largest PulseChain influencer doing daily shows. These are actually live feed shows, right? So not just X posts. We do a lot of those, but actual live feeds. And we're the only channel covering the whole of PulseChain, including the top 100. So pretty cool. Also, we have the Crypto Night Show does the Monster Thread publication as an official publication of the Crypto Night Show, and we've got Envious Crypto as the editor-in-chief and the promotional lead. Does an amazing job out there, and so it is the #1 newsletter as well. So doing a lot of work for PulseChain because we love PulseChain, we love the community, and we know it's going to be a real winner. And looks like we're on that turning point, right? Looks like we really are on that turning point. So exciting times ahead. We're very, very excited indeed. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you again tomorrow for another daily show. Yeah, I'll catch you then. Bye-bye for now. If you leave any comments, I will get back to them. I do reply to all the comments, whether on X or on YouTube. So get on there if you've got any comments as well. All right. Take care. I'll catch you on tomorrow's show. Bye for now.